Go. Let's switch. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to CKQ Podcast. I'm the host, Clements. And before I introduce the lovely panel, let's do a quick little housekeeping. If you could do me a favor and hit that like button on your way in, subscribe to my channel because we do live talks like this every Wednesday. It's always going to be new people or some reoccurring guest. And let's get into the introductions of the panelists. First up, we have Black Wall Street.
Hey, what's up, Black Wall Street, aka John? You can find me on YouTube at Black Wall Street Trading. I trade stocks. I teach people how to trade options and how to fire your boss, just like I did. Hit me up.
There we go. We got Chris.
Hey, it's Chris at the Blooming Ebony. Thanks for having me again, Clement. I'm really excited for this panel.
Awesome. Love it. We got Crystal.
Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm one of the co-hosts of the In-Law Suite podcast, and I'm super excited to be here.
Cool. We got Nicole.
Hello, everybody. I am another co-host of the In-Law Suite, and we are so excited about this panel.
Awesome. Last but not least, we got Travis.
Hey y'all, Travis Walker here. I am the host of the How to Adult with Travis Walker podcast, and I think we're going to learn a little bit of how to adult tonight, so I'm excited about this.
I love it. Cool. So, we got the panelists. You all saw the questions. Let's start with where's the drum roll? I think that's the drum roll. Let's start with the first question. Boom. Is it possible to find someone for long term who will not hurt you? Is it possible to find someone for long term who you know will not hurt you?
I think it depends on what you consider hurt.
All right, so we'll start with you, Crystal. Go for it.
Damn, knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I mean, I think the definition of hurt can vary. I don't think anyone is going to know you long term and never upset you. But do I think that you have to accept poor treatment? No. So I think you can find someone that will treat you well, but it doesn't mean that the relationship is not going to have any mishaps.
Interesting.
I agree. I think in any relationship there's going to be arguments that you guys disagree on. Like, there's no perfect person, so everybody's going to get hurt in some type of situation. Now, like, if somebody's like hurting me and like cheating on me or something like that, maybe that may not be the best person for you. But yeah. I think in arguments, you're gonna have times where somebody is not gonna like each other. It's gonna hurt each other's feelings.
Do you think you can get into any kind of relationship without the fear of being cheated on?
Yes, I do.
Really?
I'm married, so I don't feel that my husband will ever cheat on me. Like, I don't have that fear of him stepping out. Maybe that's because we were friends prior to, being in a relationship. Okay. So, but
I'm gonna pry a little bit. Okay? I might pry a little bit. How long were you guys friends prior to this? Prior to the marriage, prior to you guys becoming romantically?
We've been friends for years. Like, we've known each other since
you had him waiting in the
elementary school.
And married for how long?
I'm married for 12 years now. So we.
Wow! Yeah. Bravo!
Congratulations on that.
That's good.
Thank you. So I truly think that we've been best friends this whole time and prior to dating, and we dated for a while before even getting engaged. So.
And we've been married 12 years.
Wow. Okay.
I'm married 12 years. I married young.
You were married when you was like 9. The hell?
Definitely not 9. I was in my early 20s. So.
Okay, that's good. I believe that's a prime time to get married, though. And you found someone good, so congrats on that.
She grown. I didn't even know that, boy. Like 22.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You got me ready to start crying about it.
I'm serious. Oh my.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
Travis.
we're gonna have some grown folks answers on this one, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
Travis, let me hear what you're saying, man.
I
What you
think
saying?
that, yeah, I think your question here is a great question. I think this is a milestone in a relationship. Getting to a point in a relationship where you know you're not going to get hurt. I think that's somewhere that you get to eventually in your relationship. Because if you ask somebody when you first start dating them, right? If you ask them, "Are you going to hurt me?" They're going to say no, of course. That's what people do. So I think this is something that you obtain while in this long-term relationship that we're talking about.
You obtain it, so you can never actually truly find it right off the bat. This is only something that you can eventually grow into.
I think it's rare. I mean, I think there are some genuine people out there that you can probably, just get to know them and just know that they're not going to hurt you. But I think for the general public, those not rare people, it's something that in the relationship you stumble upon. You realize that your guard is down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it normal for everyone to step in with their guard up?
I think it is.
Yeah. Okay. Casey, how you doing?
Hey,
what's up?
hey, what's up?
What's
Good
happening,
to see you.
Casey? Welcome back.
Hey,
Hi.
hey guys.
Okay, so we're gonna have Chris answer, and then we're gonna finish off Casey and John. All right, or actually, go John then Casey. So, Chris, what are you saying? What are we hearing now?
Yeah, I agree with Travis. I feel like once you enter into a long-term relationship, you entered in because that feeling of possibly getting hurt kind of goes away, and you're able to trust that person enough to let them protect you at that point. And so if you are able to be vulnerable with that person and trust them enough to be with them long term, I feel like that fear of not being of them not hurting you kind of goes away. Do you know they wouldn't hurt you? Not necessarily, but I feel like you have a lot of trust in them to not hurt you. And hopefully at that point, once you enter into that long-term relationship, you have similar values, and hopefully they value what you value. And hopefully, if you don't, well, I probably shouldn't say it like that. I was gonna say, let's say you don't value getting like domestic abuse. So obviously they should be aligned on something like that, or they're loyal, you value loyalty, they also value loyalty. Like things like that should be kind of ironed out pretty early on. And I feel like once you enter a long-term relationship, a lot of those questions should be answered.
Long term. So, you know what? We're gonna go around everyone on the panel. Then I got one more question that I want to ask that wasn't thrown on there. John, what are you saying?
All right, so of course, I mean, I'm gonna be in agreement with the panel too, but it's gonna depend on you as a person. Like, if you know how to do a proper interview, like if you know how to put them in certain situations, like this is something that if you really value protecting yourself, you have to know how to put people in certain situations, see how they respond, because you know how I am. I'm all about watching their behavior. They behave a certain way. There's a whole another set of behaviors that come along with that. And I don't need to know a whole lot much, further. Like I'm going to establish me a control group and everything like that. But I'm going to be pretty sure that this is something they're probably going to do. So depends on how you met them. How did you meet them? It's a lot of things. But for overall, I'm going to agree with everybody else. Something you grow into. Like you just can't look at somebody. It won't hurt me. I got her, marry her
Sure,
ass tonight.
sure.
Midnight. No.
All right, Casey, let's go to you, and then I'll throw a question at the panel.
You guys hearing me?
Yes, you heard.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just want to expound on what you said, John,
Okay.
that you never really know somebody because sometimes the person you meet today turn out to be somebody totally different in the future, because people grow and people change. But for me, it's really important to have good mate selection. And you have to know what it is you're looking for in a partner. You got to know what it is that you're looking for in a long-term relationship. There are certain pillars that are necessary for a sustainable relationship. So you got to first identify if you're in the have fun phase or you want something long-term and serious. And for me, in judging a partner, I don't look on the fluff. I don't look on the wine and dine and the good times and we're laughing and we're having fun and everything is just so perfect, like the honeymoon phase. I look on how you deal with difficult situations, how you react to difficult situations. And trust me, I'm the master of creating situations.
I swear to God. I'll create one.
I am the master at that. It's so easy for me because I need to know what your temperament is like. I can't wait until when it's a real situation to know how you're going to respond.
So are you talking like creating a situation versus testing? Like
creating
one.
So no. I'm talking more like a shit test, like something dumb. Would that be the same as testing them?
Yeah, it has to be real. It has to be real, like a real situation. You know, it varies. It just varies. It could be an attitude test. I don't know if other females do this, but I sometimes do the attitude test. So I'll just be in a mood for no reason, right? And I'm perfectly fine, but I just want to see.
What?
There was an echo. Yeah, I want to see how you respond. I want to see if you're grounded. I want to see if you're secure in yourself as a man. It's I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to be disrespectful. But women have their little mood swings here and there. So I want to see if you're somebody that's going to be all up in your feelings. You're going to be retaliating. I want a mature person who understands that women go through their moods and it's not everything you're to take personal. So I don't know if that answers the question. I think I deviated a little bit, but is it possible to find somebody and have a long-term relationship that you won't get hurt in? You can't predict the future, so.
Let me ask you this: At what point does the testing stop? Should it stop?
When he has passed the test. When he.
This is a test that I was never told I was taking. I was never given a cheat sheet. I was never told how to study for it.
Right.
I wasn't even told how many questions would be on the test.
Exactly.
When I know when the test is done.
I don't know when it's done.
That's a good question.
I'll tell you what, when I ask you to marry me, that's when it's done.
Right. Exactly.
That's a result.
Thank you.
If I don't never ask you to marry me, you failed.
Yes.
That's fair. That's actually a very good point.
Thank you, John.
If the guy is not willing to get down on one knee and propose, then the test should keep coming.
You failing somewhere.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's fair.
That's fair. I'll sip to that. Yeah. I had a other question I wanted to pose to the panel.
Shit.
Travis, what did you end up saying?
I said that this is something that you obtain, right? The knowing that you aren't going to be hurt is something that comes with the growth of the relationship.
Okay. I had something else I wanted to ask the panel, but I lost it. I don't know why, but I lost it. So we're going to move on to the next question. And if it comes back up, we'll do it again. All right. Next question. Expectations are needed to find what you want in a partner. Expectations are needed to find what you want in a partner. Chris, let's start with you.
Yes and no. So expectations, I guess there are some basic expectations.
Such as?
Some basic expectations would be, for me, when I was dating, I was looking for one requirement that I had or expectation that I had was that the person enjoyed what they did. They were passionate about their career. And that's because growing up, my dad always told me that it's very important to love what you do. I had one caveat, and it basically the job they chose had to be nearly recession proof. So I was hoping to meet somebody who was like military, serviceman, STEM field, something like that. Just I felt like that added extra security for me to be more feminine. But so that was one expectation. But as far as are they needed? I guess expectations are necessary when they align with your values and when they are necessary to be successful in the long term.
Give me an example.
So, for example, having a steady job, I think is a fair expectation to have. Having certain long-term goals, like do you want to invest in real estate? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to start a family someday? Those are things that I think are fair when it comes to like your growth together, and then your future family's growth. I would say expectations that aren't needed is basically like the high value man. Like you have to be on your path to being a millionaire or a billionaire. Those types of expectations, like expecting a man to buy you a designer bag, stuff like that, that doesn't actually add to your relationship's value, doesn't mean anything in the long term. It just makes you feel good.
Okay. John.
Yep. You do.
Expectations.
I mean, expectations are your foundation for what you choose. If you don't have expectations, how can you make a choice? You got to believe in something or you'll fall for anything. So yeah, you got to have expectations. Mine are simply is this. One expectation is that we align in my 5 important compatibilities: religion, sex, money, how we raise children, all of those 4 right there. And then the last one is did I say money already? Money,
Yeah.
religion, how we raise children, politics.
That's it.
Sex, politics. Those are the 5 biggest arguments you will ever get into. Anyone along those lines. The other expectation would be respect. I'm going to give it and I expect it back.
Let me ask you, would you say that your expectations and standards are the same thing?
Mm-mm. Not necessarily.
No?
No.
Okay,
your standards
so
change over time.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought your expectations, no?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Now those have always been pretty rock solid. Like I could have gotten pulled out the field when I was playing the field years and years ago if I could have found those 5 compatibility matches, but I never found them. I didn't find them until late.
Tough
and then
thing to
my initial standards like changed. So here's the thing: I used to only my main standard was you had to be considered a 9 or a 10, or at the very minimum an 8 by anybody, any of my friends. See, I was more after that trophy piece. I had a reputation to uphold, and I wanted to uphold it. Now I got some garbage women. Ooh, Jesus, I'm talking about terrible. Absolutely terrible. The only thing I could do was brag. Oh, look, but that was it. I'm anything from dumb, real promiscuous, just terrible, gold digging. I mean, just you couldn't have a decent conversation. But over time, I learned that that's not, that you could get both. You can get a good girl who also is pretty, who aligns with you, and then later on in life, I actually found it. She just actually popped up on the panel a minute ago. So, yeah, you got to have that roadmap.
There she is.
Throw the garbage.
Nicole, let's go to you.
So I agree with John. I think expectations are needed to find a partner because you have to set like a guideline of what you want. In regards to the standards part, I totally agree. I feel like if you really like somebody or really want to have a future with somebody, you're going to compromise on some of the standards you have in order to, make the relationship work. But expectations are definitely needed, because I'm not going to date somebody who is not driven, somebody that's not a family person. We're just not going to match. So I agree with both.
Having a little technical difficulties. The first time it's ever happened. Casey, let's go to you.
This one is a tricky one because you have two sides of the spectrum, right? So I listened to Pastor Michael Todd, and he did a ceremony talking about expectations. And he literally said that we are to throw away the expectations. Like, if we have a list of things that our partners need to have, we should just write down every single one of them and just throw it away. Because what he's trying to say is that who God has designed for us is usually not what we have in mind. And if we focus on the list, we might overlook a possible partner because we're so fixated on this list. Just like what John said, he said in his early years, if you weren't, well, he didn't say that. He said in the early years, if he found persons who had the 5 characteristics that he was looking for, he would have been married long ago. But he didn't find anybody who had all 5 of those categories. So you kind of like box yourself in a way. So I think I'm kind of in between, because it's good to have expectations, but at the same time, too much expectation can cause conflicts in a relationship, because you expect it to go this way, and when it don't go that way, you are disappointed, and then you may give a negative reaction to that disappointment, which can cause conflicts, and heartache or whatever. So I guess we might have to have a separate program just for this topic only, because it's a toss-up. Really, it's really a toss-up.
I think Pastor Todd is using expectations interchangeably with standards.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because it is fair to say that you expect a man not to put his hands on you. Is that a fair assumption? You expect a man to give you some respect. Is that a fair assumption?
Of course.
You can't throw none of that out the window. We can't throw that out the window because he put his hands on you. We got to change that up immediately.
ASAP.
Yeah. Negro, you should have found therapy the last woman, because this ain't the first time you hit somebody. So you should have found therapy then. We got to change all this up. I'm sorry. Single parenting is real, and I'm willing to do it if we got babies, but you ain't fitting to put your hands on me again.
Right.
That's just too dangerous. Not giving you respect, embarrassing you in front of people, like the way they talk to you. You see what I'm saying? So that's those are basic expectations, like what Chris was saying. There's some basic things. I mean, she didn't say that, but I'm assuming that those would be like just understood to be part of those basic expectations when you're choosing someone. And of course, you also expect them not to cheat, to be faithful to the marital bed or due to your relationship, however you guys, choose to do it. So there are some, some expectations. Now standards. Now I agree 100% with Pastor Todd. You meet the right person, like Nicole was saying, you throw some of them bad boys, if not all of them, out the window. You meet that person that make you feel a certain way. You meet that person who gives you that joy, that comfort, you just don't know what it is, but you just really like talking to this Negro right here. Bruh, what you doing? I'm just missing the hell out of you for some strange ass reason. I've never been like this before. And he don't meet, and he may or she may not meet none of your damn standards. But I can't tell you how many people I know personally that if you ask him, how did y'all meet? To tell you the truth, he wasn't even my damn type. I don't know how the hell he got me, but he got me. He got me lock, stock, and barrel. Or she wasn't my type, but she got me lock, stock, and barrel, because it was a certain thing about them. They had that thing, and it was matching with your thing, and y'all just did the damn thing. So I think that's how he's doing. He's using them both the same.
So I have a question. I want to challenge that a little bit. Okay. Say for argument's sake, her birthday is coming up, right? And she's like, oh, I'm not too fussy. You ask her, what do you want for your birthday? And she's like, it's okay. And I'm not fussy. I don't need anything as long as I got you. You know,
If
she's
it's
just trying to
not-
be. She's just trying to be modest. You know, she don't want to act like she want too much. You know, playing
Right,
a good
right.
girl role and whatever. And you, like men, typically take everything literal.
right.
Take things that she really don't want something. Yeah. And you don't get her something. And, you know, by the end of the night, she's looking a little, you know, down or whatever.
Right.
She's disappointed because obviously she had an expectation that obviously would still get something despite the fact that she said she's good.
Mhm.
You know, like that's an example of having expectations. So how would you argue that?
Okay, so if I was that stupid, like I gotta play that, right? You gotta remember, I'm 47 years old, bro. Like I don't, you would never get me to fall into that trap. Like this is
I'm
what
about to
You
happened.
got just
You're
That's a
grown.
test.
for the sake of the
For the
argument, you
sake
were
of-
the dumb guy. You were the dumb guy that
You're the dumb
said,
guy,
"Oh,
yeah.
he absolutely means
now
don't get her
it-
anything."
Now I have with Mrs. Black Wall Street, forgot that it was her birthday. She had to remind me, and she'll chime in here in a minute, and she'll say that. That's a bonus because it's really hard to find the perfect one who meet all expectations in reality. Okay, so, but when later on, and I would just address it like with her. When you got the right person, you don't have to worry about answering that question. So, like, if I was to do this, if this did happen, I promise you it wouldn't be a big deal. It would not be a big deal. I was like, see, you looking all sad. See, I asked you what you wanted, and you didn't say nothing. So now I feel bad. So next week I'm gonna do something sweet for you because the day is over with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
that. Like I promise you, it won't be an argument. It won't be none of that. Like
Yeah.
nah, it won't be none of that. It just
I
wouldn't.
like that.
What a romantic guy.
Nah,
Can I say
it just
something
wouldn't.
about that? Can I say something real quick about that?
Go ahead.
At some point, you have to be accountable for yourself as well.
Thank you.
Because you
Thank
told
you.
him not to get you anything. And so
Yeah.
you have to ask for what you want in life. So if you actually want something, then
Say-
you can say, I want a gift. I want you to pick it out. I don't want to pick it, or whatever it is that you want, but you weren't clear with your expectations. So you
Right.
can't hold him to that.
Now,
A closed
Think-
mouth does not get fed.
That's not
Ooh.
now, if there was some
I like
attitude,
that.
if there was some attitude, that's the speech that would have been given exactly right there. Like what I tell you about keeping your mouth shut. You didn't want it. If you wanted something, you should have said something. You don't say nothing. Hell, how I'm supposed to know? I can't read your mind. Be
That's
walking
right.
around here microaggressive and shit. Say something. Now come here and give me a kiss. Hell, then got me all upset for nothing.
And you just gotta let her know, like,
tell you what I
deal
want.
with it, all right?
Yeah.
Travis.
Yeah, I think that they are really onto something in the sense of creating too many expectations so far early on. You really close yourself off, and you may not give someone a chance that you should give a chance. Being in a relationship and being married now, I know it's super important to create clear expectations, right? When the grass gets long outside, I go outside and I cut the grass, right? When it's trash day, I get the trash together and I get the trash together. So creating those expectations creates a very smooth life. So I think that too many expectations early on can be dangerous and can be a turnoff for sure. But I think as you get further into your relationship, you need to set expectations to be a good partner. Because if you don't, you have all these issues that are again just micro issues that don't really matter in the end. So
Now I want to piggyback off of what he said. Now that's why when she asked me that question, that's how I knew. Like I was like really confident and really pleased to answer that question, especially since it actually kind of did occur because of the distance and whatever. I just forgot. There's a big time gap between us, but neither here nor there. She and I, myself and Black Wall Street, Mrs. Black Wall Street, we established our expectations together. Like we talked about it prior to. She'll tell you, I told her the truth, everything about everything. She knew everything about me, like everything, every bad. I don't care. I told her, man, I'm lazy as hell. If I would come in the house, I'm gonna throw shit down. I know I am. I'll try to remember, but I probably won't. And she was like, Okay, so I gave her an expectation, like, nigga, I will help you with the housework, but this is gonna be some. I promise you, I'm gonna help you, but don't like, don't. So I was establishing mine too. Like, I don't want to hear it. I'm telling you this up front. Boo, I'm lazy. So telling me go do this probably ain't gonna happen. I'll do it, but not when you want me to. Like, it probably is. And we was just talking about this the other day. She said, "Oh, you're not as lazy." I said, "Don't let this shit fool you. I still got that pre-workout in me, and I'm like really fucking amped up. When it wear off, I'm sitting down, ain't doing shit else for the rest of the day. Like, it's just not gonna happen." And she was like, "That's fine, because you probably don't know, because you don't like to clean. You probably don't know how to clean up real good, like I wanted to."
Oh, she hit your ego.
I said, "Yeah, but I like to cook." And she said, "Yeah." So I said, "I can probably cook as good as you." She said, "I doubt it, but you can help me out." I said, "Wait a minute, what?" Oh. So we got to have a cook-off as soon as she get here. I'm just saying. We're going to see. So we're going to see. I know she can make sushi real good, all pretty, but we'll see. I hope you listening. You listening? I was going to the woods hunting and buying gifts for all occasions.
There it is.
Yeah, that's true. We don't care about the material shit. We like
all right. So really quick, I want to, before we move on to the next question, I want to do a quick reaction video. Oh, you didn't? I'm so sorry. Had a little technical difficulties. My mind's a little scrambled.
That's okay. I'll keep it brief because I agree with what we've been mostly saying as far as
everyone agreeing on this panel. What is this?
Too many.
I brought my wine for nothing.
I think that you can have expectations, but people aren't always going to meet them. And if you have unrealistic expectations, then I feel like that's a blocker. And I'm all about not blocking your blessings. And some people, yes. I was watching something like a feed conversation somewhere recently, and they were talking about if the first date is too cheap, you wouldn't even show up. And to me, that's just an unrealistic expectation because you don't even know what you're missing out on by not showing up because you don't like the date that he planned.
I pride myself on making my first dates less than $30.
Wait,
I pride myself. I think, what's that?
I was going to say, like, are you here to get to know somebody or are you just here for a fancy dinner?
For a meal, yeah, exactly. Like, let's just say I set up like 3. I don't understand. Like, sorry, I'm going to go off on a little rant here. I'm sorry. All right. Bear with me. I don't understand the whole idea behind like, oh, a date has to be like extravagant or expensive. Like, imagine if a date is $100. I've set up 5 dates, 1 date every single day for the work week. It's $500. And if none of those women were actually interested in me, that's $500 that I'm out of.
Yeah.
Gone.
That's true.
And I just gained like,
nothing.
As a guy, it's kind of like, damn, well, it's always just smarter to go, okay, cheaper date in the beginning and get to know them. Right. And if they don't show up because it's a cheaper date, then realistically, you as the guy, you made a smart decision.
Yep.
And I was always raised that you don't go anywhere that you can't afford to go. Exactly. It doesn't matter if he tells you that he's going to pay for you. You need to have cash money available to pay for yourself and or reimburse him if things get out of pocket.
Right.
So this whole mentality, I guess I've been out the game too long. I don't get it. But I think that there are things that there are standards that you can set, like we talked about not getting hit. That's like a non-negotiable. But I think that we're making certain things non-negotiables that are really just nice to haves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So here's a question that I finally came back to me. Do you think that if you date for too long, if you hop from one partner to another for too long, you just build up too big of a wall? That's a question to the panel. Is there any way that you can build up too big of a wall from just dating around too much?
Well, I think if you're talking about dating, like what we're saying, like going out with people, like to dates, I don't think so. But if you're trying, every guy that you date, you're trying to get into a deep romantic relationship with,
Mhm.
on date number 2, then yes, you're going to end up getting hurt. You're going to feel like all 10 of these guys were no good when really they just weren't the right guy for you. And now you've blocked yourself off for future potential mates.
I'm gonna jump in if
Go for
I
it.
may.
Go for it.
And this is why I'm gonna upset the panel a little bit, because
Do
this
it.
is what
Do it.
everybody's
Let's go.
agreed. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right? So, and this is why we go back to the whole topic of expectation, because in the initial stages of dating, having too many expectations, like for example, having an expectation that this guy is going to take you to a fancy restaurant, and then he end up telling you, hey, let's meet up at Red Lobster. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be disappointed, and then you probably still go, but you're gonna have a chip on your shoulder because you had this expectation here and you didn't meet the expectation. So, I just think that you have to be like balanced, and I think this is a worthy topic to delve into a little deeper, to just like really qualify what is expectation really. Is it the same as standards, and how do we treat expectation? As it relates to the question you asked about going around on different dates and it possibly allowing you to have a wall up or something, I think I agree with the young lady to the extreme right with the loop earrings. What's your name? Crystal, right. I agree with Crystal. It really depends on how much you invest emotionally in these dates. And remember that dates is just a getting to know phase. You can date several persons at any one time. It's not a exclusive situation until that guy says to you that, hey, listen, I think I'm ready to take this to the next level. It's open. It's open. You can date as much as you want. And if the date is to get to know, not form attachments, it's not to have sex. That's not the time for you to have sex. I mean, hey,
Exactly.
some people do it. Okay, fine. No judgment here, but personally, that's not the time you start to have sex, because listen, women are attachment beings. The moment you give your body to that man, whether you know him 1 week, 2 weeks, it doesn't matter. You're naturally gonna get your feelings hurt if things don't work out. So I would say for women, have your own standards. Tell yourself, these are the things I'm going to be doing while I'm dating. I'm not going to get too emotionally invested. I'm not going to have any sex with them. And in that way, when things don't work out, you won't get your feelings hurt. And you won't be defensive going into another date.
Okay. Hold on real quick. So for anyone in the chat or anyone watching right now, I'm going to drop the stream link in the chat below. If you have any kind of disagreements or you want to ask anyone on the panel any kind of questions, you can come on and ask. But for a whole show, for every show, you can only ask one question. So choose wisely. Okay. All right. Who else has an answer to that? Crystal, you just answered that. Casey, you answered that. Travis, what do you think of that? Can someone build too big of a wall?
Yeah, I think so, because I think that if you're dating and you're dating a lot of people and it's not working, I can definitely see how you can get jaded from that experience. I can see how it can be exhausting, especially if you're serious and you want to find somebody that's serious. I mean, that's definitely true for me. When I was in college, I was trying to find the one. I just wanted to find the one, and dating was not working out. And I definitely felt exhausted and jaded from that. And I think that there was a little bit of a wall that we had to break down, just based off of not getting what I was looking for in previous dating settings. So I can definitely see how people can be jaded and exhausted from that experience.
Okay.
Let Chris go and then I'll go last.
Okay.
And me too.
Oh, and Nicole.
I mean, come on.
We saved the best for last, of course. Chris, go for it.
I think therapy is needed. If you notice yourself building a wall, or if you notice yourself being sort of broken or like extremely hurt after relationship ends, you should go to therapy. And also one part of studying femininity is learning how to be fluid and flexible and not going into relationships with this expectation that you're going to be with them forever. You know, when you're dating somebody, you're courting somebody, you should not create that emotional attachment. And so, of course, you may get a little bit defensive. Things may happen, but if you're noticing yourself getting triggered in future relationships, getting really defensive, being very rigid, you probably need therapy, and you probably need to reassess kind of where you are in your femininity.
Yeah. Right.
Nicole? Oh boy. Technical difficulties.
Sorry, no, I had it on mute. I agree with Chris in regards to, like, if you are dating multiple people, I feel like your expectations are going to increase as well, or standards is going to increase as well, because obviously you're dating multiple people because you're trying to find somebody, or if they're not trying to find somebody, just know what the purpose of the date is for. Because if you are dating multiple people, you can't expect, well, I'm speaking of me, I can expect like me to find like that one person in my multiple dates. I'm choosing to date multiple people to try to figure out multiple people, not to really like purposely focus on one person. Because if I think, oh, Monday I'm going out with John, my expectations are high, this is the one, and then in our conversation we find out I have nothing in common with him, my wall is going to start to build up, because the second date I'm going to go out with Jimmy and he's the same way. So I agree with Chris in finding what is the purpose of the date. Like, make sure that your intentions are to either just to have fun or like get to know somebody on a smaller pace. So
Interesting.
And it's multiple. If you date multiple people, are you really increasing your like standards? Are you changing your standards? Are you changing your expectation? Because one date could be horrible, and you're like, no, I'm never going out with this type of guy anymore. And then you go on your second date, yeah, I ain't doing that either. And then I feel like when you increase your expectations and increase your standards, you're increasing that wall.
Here's what I'm thinking too, is also, aside from that, you're also increasing a checklist, because you didn't like them, but there was also things that you did like about them.
True.
Which you now throw onto a checklist. Mm-hmm. So now when you switch over to a new person, do you need to constantly wipe that clean?
That would be ideal. Not to say that most people probably wouldn't, because they'll probably feel like, man, that other date was horrible. So they're going in there with kind of like the same mood that they just had. So I would say that would be ideal, but probably not.
Go ahead.
I think instead of increasing your list based on the dates, you should look at why you attracted that person in the first place. So if you're actively dating and you're date after date, you're getting the same type of person, you're constantly unsatisfied, you should ask yourself, why am I even attracting these types of people? And am I setting myself up for failure going into these dates? You know, did you not do the work before you start dating again? So now you're just attracting this negative energy that you're putting out.
Looking for patterns. Yeah.
You got to pattern interrupt at some point.
Well, also understanding that there is no perfect person and trying to evaluate if you are discounting people for a negative quality that you're going to find again anyway. You know, like we have similarities. So if you're saying like, I will never date someone because of X reason, then you're now discounting every other person that has that similarity, as opposed to being more balanced and understanding that there's give and take with everything.
Yeah.
Even the right person, even my husband has things that he does that I don't like. And it doesn't mean that I discount him completely as an entire person based on those small negative traits.
So is it fair to say that you go in to see the negatives that you can tolerate and take that over the good?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Or take the good over the negatives.
Right.
Okay. All right. John?
All right. So There was a comment
Hold
that
on, sorry. Give me one sec. Casey, I think it might be you. I think we might get a little feedback.
Uh, did I talk on this?
No. Can you mute yourself really quick?
Oh, mute. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I think it was that. Okay.
there was a comment that Crystal made earlier, and it was referencing the mindset when like not expecting a guy to take him to this like fancy restaurant or whatever, and then just completely discount the guy if he does not choose to do that or whatever. So I have a very 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 close friend that's actually here, and Clement and I have talked not at length about him, but mentioned him. He taught me a lot about some things and according to investing and stuff like that. So the way that he found his wife was that he had expectations and he had standards, but his standards were not unrealistic. They were very, very simple. So he has many rental properties, but no one knew that. So, but there was this one specific one that he posed as his house, and some people don't like the way he did it, but most of those people they were upset because they didn't know they could get to the goal. But anyway, so the house is in a lower income area. The car is like 18 years old, and this is the car. It was clean. His house is clean, and he was turned down for dates at the car. Like they didn't like the car he drove. I said, "Wow." But his wife, she got in the car. He's old school. He's my age. He acted like he couldn't open the door. She reached across and opened the door for him. He was in his mind. He was checking all this off. They went somewhere real simple. It was not out to eat. They went and did an activity. I forget what he said it was. And she wanted to see him again. And then eventually she came over to his house. Now he lives in a low income area, but his house is real clean, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And when they got more serious, she really thought that this was his house. Like this, okay. So the guy I'm talking about is a millionaire. That's how I met him. He bought like 16 trucks for his business when I was selling cars. So he's really rich. And her real house that she got because he asked her to marry him and stuff like this. And he said, well, but I think before they actually got married, she was aware of all his properties and all this other stuff, but she had already said yes. So the reason he did that is because he was finding himself being bitter. Because when he was trying to show who he was attracting the wrong person because he had money. So he couldn't pull up in his BMW or his Mercedes or his Mercedes wagon because instantly they put on this facade or to try to get him. And he was seeing straight through that because he would test them in other ways. Like the guy's not an idiot. The guy's self-made. He wasn't born into money. He achieved this himself. Like he through owning a gas company. I mean, the dude
he got it out the mud.
That's smart. He got it out the dirt, right? So he's not an idiot. Like he can see things. And I think he did talk to his therapist, and his therapist told him to do a different, go about this different, trying to mask that and see what you find. Don't put that out there. If that's what you keep, and it goes back to what Chris was talking about. Why are you attracting the? Because you pulling up in a damn $65,000 car. Yeah, you're going to attract all the gold diggers, bro. That's what's going to happen. Like it's kind of hard to say nah to a dude pull up. Like if you broke as hell and you pulling up on this dude, pull up on you. You know what I'm saying? Pull up on me.
I guess to him,
yeah, got with you, boy. What you talking about? Where we going?
To him, it's just a car, I guess that's why.
It's just a car.
Yeah.
And he would say this to me. It was a proper ass. It's like, I don't, and it was amazing. It's just a car, bro. Nigga, no, it ain't just a car, bro. It's like no, nigga. You got the 7 Series. This is not just a car. It's a $100,000 car, bro. Like everybody don't have it. Like no, you just scream, I'm rich as hell. So you had to hide that. You did good. And his wife is so humble. She is so sweet. She's just the most adorable thing. And he found her because she thought the dude was broke as hell. She didn't know. She didn't care. She just liked him. Like she liked him. And I think they only dated for 8 months. They've been married now though for 22 years, 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because when I met him, they had already been married like 9 or 10 years. And
How
I was
long do you
in
think it?
Irving for
How
14.
to the question to the panel? How long do you think it should take before you pose the marriage question?
See, when you know,
Let the married sisters answer that.
We got a
We
lot of
have-
married. We got a lot of married people on this panel. Actually, it's pretty good.
I think
Mm-hmm.
to me, I've seen people get married in a month.
And lastly,
It's and lasted, yeah. And I've dated my husband for about 4 years, but we were very, very young. So I don't know. I really think it depends on the person, but I feel that you should know the person at least. If I had to put a number, a year.
I want cold hard facts. A year. So you're saying a
I
year?
feel like a year is a good time to get to know somebody, truly know who they are, you know, how much money they're making, all that.
Oh, how what car they're driving? Even after that car story, you still gotta. All right.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be honest. If my husband did that, I would be low key upset because I feel like if you told me that after you put a ring on it, that means you never
Yeah.
really trusted me with that information.
Wait,
You
what?
know, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Because no, you should definitely build a trust with this person. That's why you obviously want to marry them. So you should be able to tell them prior to putting a ring on it, here's my situation. You know, I'm actually a millionaire. I mean, I'm sure that would help her decision.
I mean, honestly, I don't
At
know.
the end of the day, she already knew.
I don't know.
She should already know that I want to marry this guy anyway. So
Exactly.
he's a
If she was that
millionaire or
humble, if anything, if she was that humble this whole
Yeah.
time, if anything, she might be a little bit offended by or a little bit
Yeah.
thrown back by it, just because it's like, I thought you could trust me this whole time.
Exactly.
You know, like it wouldn't be about the money; it would be more about the trust.
trust.
But I mean, she should also get over it because she's about to be a millionaire. So, like, come on.
Yeah,
Come on. What are we doing
She
here?
is gonna
Like,
get
what are we
over it.
doing
Yeah,
here?
I
kind of
agree.
slick like, I kind of slick like it. And before I met Miss Black Wall Street, I wouldn't like disclose everything. I would keep stuff to myself. Like I would
As
say,
most men do.
oh, I live at home with my mom. And if
Oh.
if you judge me on that, good. I don't want you.
That's not fair, though.
Yeah, it
Nah,
is.
that's
You
not
should
fair.
investigate it because if you
should.
did not,
This is our same shit test. What do you mean?
I said I live at home with my mom. That's your choice. That's your bad judgment.
I want to know the
You
reason
should
You're
have
why
in-
you
investigated
did
that,
that.
boo boo. You should have said, "Let me take." Okay, so I live at home with my mom. What's the positives? I don't have bills.
When
I
I'm
don't
at
have
my
bills. I don't have a reason to go out and live on my own. For what? For what? Why should I? If I can, if I got that luxury, why should I? I'm in graduate school, so I tell you that much. Why should I go out and take on all these? That's just stupid on my part.
At what
That's
age?
dumb
No,
finance.
hold on. At what age, though? At what age?
I was-
You're
I
talking
was 40.
50.
I
What?
was 40 years old.
And you're doing a degree?
Yeah, a PhD. I had just started it. I'm a year from
live at
graduation,
home.
and I don't
I'm
live
at
at home with
home.
mom no more.
Well, in that case, I can give and take because I can see the rationale behind you being with your mom. You're studying, so all your resources is going into your studies. So
This sounds like cap, Casey. This
And
sounds like
trying
cap.
to offset. You're trying to offset the cost, but that's just a one-off situation. How many persons are doing a PhD and living with their mom? That's not like a high number. So,
It's higher than you think it is.
well, I mean, there are exceptions to the rule because, like,
Yeah.
in that situation, I could give and take because at least you're brilliant, you're smart. So, at least a couple of years time, I'm looking at a doctor. So
More.
you're not gonna be living with your mom when you graduate,
Nah.
But
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Casey, you literally said I will give a test where I just get angry for no reason. For no reason. Versus he was like, okay, I want to see if she's actually a good one. So I'm gonna tell her I live at my mom's house while I actually got a house.
I know
I'm
that's
going
a
through a
reaction.
PhD program.
For most women, that's a reaction. Like,
no, listen, no.
Yep.
Listen, no. And I'm gonna stand my ground on this one right here. You have to understand that there are real bums out there. Okay, there are legit bums out there. So you want to make sure that you're not picking up a bum because there are certain let's face it, we all judge. We all judge. Come on. You meet a woman with 5 no, hold on. You meet a woman with 5 kids and 5 different baby daddies. You're automatically gonna judge her right there.
She's a
You
good
don't
woman.
know. Pardon?
No.
What?
No.
You don't know. You don't know her story though. You don't know. We're gonna judge her, right? We're gonna judge her. That's all we are. So the same can be applied if you are dating a guy or you meet a guy and he's in his 40s and he's telling you that he's living with his mom. Personally, the type of person that I am, I'm not going to judge him straight off the bat. I'm going to dig a little beneath the surface. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm not going to judge him right away. I'm going to try to understand, okay, what could be the situation? Maybe his mom is sick. Some people go back, some persons own their home, sell their home, go back with their parents because their parents sick and they just want to spend that last few years with their parents. So I'm not going to off the bat judge them, because it's a case-by-case basis. But I'm telling you, you have legitimate bums out there who just stay in their mom's house because they're freeloaders. They don't want to go out and do anything at all. And I cannot be with somebody like that, because you guys know my policy. I'm a feminist and I believe that the man should be the head of the household and be the provider. So I cannot be with a bum. So I think for me, I will just try to decipher exactly what the character of the person is. But obviously you hear a 40-year-old person living with his mom, it's not going to sound good off the bat.
And I wanted it like that so I could get rid of the ones who did not understand and hold on to the one that does. And the one that did, she's the one that's gonna be married and she's the one that suffered through all of this, all of the studying, all of the times where I couldn't call and talk to her. She's the one that put up with all of that. All the me complaining, fussing about this and the professor, oh, I can't believe I have to do this shit all over again. She talking about blah, blah, blah. She got to hear all of that because it didn't even really come up after that. Like she didn't really care what the situation was. She liked me. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to get to know who I was. And when we was talking about whether or not she should take another contract or come here, she said, well, I'm thinking I'm gonna come there. I adjusted. I went and got a damn apartment so we have a place for us to live. Because she couldn't stay at home. My mama don't play that shit. She don't play that. Nigga, you married, ain't no woman staying the night at her house. Period. Point blank. She the only tigress on that mountain, and 2 tigresses cannot walk in the same mountain. And it don't work like that. You take your grown butt out there in your own space and place and do what y'all got to do. And so I left the house. And then when we decided, okay, well, she was,
which is the right thing to do. Your mommy didn't have to tell you that you innately should know that's the right thing to do.
Of course. I mean, of course. Yeah. I'm going to want my own privacy. I know me. But that's the whole thing. But the whole point is this. Like, if you're trying to get to know this person, it shouldn't matter when you fall into being lied to when a man feel like he can't be honest with you. Because if you're gonna judge him to the point that we don't want to talk to him no more, that's how you actually do find bums. Because you get a dude that likes you so much, and yeah, is he supposed to lie? No, he's not supposed to lie. But is he gonna lie? Hell yeah, he's gonna lie. Especially when he feel that energy. That if he say the wrong shit, you're gonna you're gonna completely dismiss him. Now he's got to figure out a way to damn live up to all these things that he's told you or all these things that he's showed you. If you want to find out who a person really is, give him that opportunity to show you who he really is, and then you got to
give me 1 quick second, guys. We got one person coming up to the panel. LA Princess, right? Or La Princess. Is it French? What are we doing here? Hello? Is it a guy?
Bro, you got trolled with this thing.
I see that.
Oh my god!
I wasn't sure what that was, but
that's what that was. That's what we call them, weirdos.
Yeah.
Right? Hypersexual.
I've had a pretty bad one. when I originally started.
Big for real. That's why he got a damn picture of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
All right, we're gonna do a quick reaction video. I want to hear you guys' reactions to it. Oh, Casey, you got a fan in the stands.
Hey, boo.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, so boom. Share screen. Shout out to the Talk Your Shit pod. These ladies actually came on here, and I went onto their panel a couple of times. So this is just a quick clip from their panel. I want us all to do a quick reaction to it. So mute your mics, please, and then we'll get started. Cool. Fair use, fair use.
If I gaslighted you and lied to you to get you in bed, then we're not going to be friends.
Sure, because you lied.
I lied to you. I was like, yo, me and
you
you
put
can
in the
probably-
work.
me and you can probably rock for a while. You know, I
Mhm.
see me and you, I see a future. But if I was like, you know what? I so want to fuck you. I could see fucking you like up to like 7 times.
Have you ever been
And,
that
like,
honest with someone?
Hell yeah, and it works. It works. And
Wait, being honest, being dishonest works.
Honest.
no, honest. I
Okay.
literally said I can see fucking you 3 to 7 times.
I agree.
Right,
being
right.
honest works better than being dishonest. Because you know what it
Do
is?
you- when you're honest like that, are you also honest that like, oh, I'm married? And women just be like, I'm down.
I found a lot of women that actually kink it or fetishize it.
Okay.
Meaning, there's been a couple of times where I've been into women and I didn't want to just fuck them 3 to 7 times, meaning I wanted to rock for a little bit.
Okay.
And they're like, nah, I just wanted to see what this shit was about, you know, because they found it interesting. Oh, really? You married and you do this shit?
Like,
and
I
shit?
kind of got feelings for you,
You
boo.
know, like, all right. And I'm like, I'm not done, you know. That's happened a couple of times. But,
Okay.
you know, it's like curiosity. And I
Yeah.
don't really knock it either because it is somewhat different. But a lot of people live that way. They just live on the low. There's a lot
Yeah.
of closeted people, yeah.
Do you think marriages work better like that? Like they will last longer if they were like yours?
I honestly do. But you need to work on your jealousy. Y'all talked
Okay.
about that a lot. Y'all, I looked at y'all talk about that.
Yeah.
But y'all talk about that as that's a natural and fuck it, I'm gonna deal with it. Like, no.
Deal with what? Wait.
Wait, being jealous is not natural?
It is totally natural, but it's not natural to like embrace it.
I mean,
I-
Natasha
not that
funny.
Oh, you getting it hot up in this bitch, ain't you, boy? Ooh,
So,
you done touched a nerve here. Wow.
so
Dying to hear these answers.
should we be embracing jealousy like that? You know what? Let's hear. I want to hear your reaction to that video, John. Let's start with you. Let's start off hot.
All right, so I want to make sure I understood this right.
Uh-huh.
He talking about you already know what the statement that he made earlier was, you know,
You're dumbfounded like me.
yeah, 'cause that statement didn't even make sense. Get rid of a superficial woman, like that don't make sense. Like
No, he was saying that to the women that you would tell that you live at home. Get rid of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
it makes sense. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get rid of them. All right. So the whole thing, you know, my stance on the honesty thing. I told you, and this shit works. It
Yeah,
works like a
yeah.
charm.
Be
That was
straightforward.
Be straightforward.
Straight.
Let them know. Let
Direct.
a woman know what the hell she dealing with up front. Don't surprise her. Don't ambush
Beat
this
around the
girl.
bush. Correct.
Hell no. Don't beat around the bush. Yeah. Now, that whole other thing that they talking about, I'm gonna get some clarity. And you tell me if I'm off or if I'm right. All right. If
Okay.
you talking about letting another man stick his sheboinking in your
He's talking about
nigga,
you know
y'all can't tell.
multiple.
That
He's
is not
talking
for
about
everybody.
he's talking about they are in an open marriage and
No, that's what I thought he was talking about.
you know they can free flow. And he was actually earlier in it he was saying that she's much better at it than he is because obviously women have much more choices than men do. So she is seeing far more people than he is seeing women.
Okay, so let's talk about this. All right. All right, so I understand the whole politically correct thing about religion.
That's not this show. We're good.
I got you. But as for me and mine, we worship the Lord, and even though you can't defile the marital bed, that's scripture. But she and I both agree that ain't nobody else getting in the marital bed. It's just us. That's mine. I'm hers. Period. That's the way we rock. If you've never been a part of anything like that, that'll destroy them. I mean, bro, you're gonna be left be feeling some kind of way. Maybe once you get used to it, but then once you get used to it, like where is the connection between y'all? I never understood how in the hell, because anybody who understands sex and from a love perspective, the way you feel about them makes the sex better. Like makes it better. Anything else, you just fucking. Period. You just straight up fucking. Yeah, it's some dudes who can really put it down. You understand what I'm saying? But this right here is sacred between you and this person. You get a dude off in there, you fixing to feel some kind of way. I know dudes are, and women I can't speak for, but I know for a fact a dude eventually in the beginning should feel a certain kind of way, unless you never really loved that woman in the first place. She was just sexual. Because I think people who have open relationships, low key, both of them have a sexual disorder. Now I know people don't want to agree with that. No, I know plenty of people. You don't know shit else about them. All you know is that this is what they do, and it seems normal to you and okay. Because if that's the way they like it, that's them and their business. I get you, but why would you feel like it's old damn K for you and your old lady to engage in this type damn behavior? And then how could you say you love her and let another man beat her backhand? How? How can you do that? How is it possible? I don't get it. You think she feel the same way about you when she finished? You don't think this like she thinking a different way? No third part. There it is right there. No third party. We won't do that. I'm done. I'm done with it.
Drop the mic, John.
Drop the mic. Casey, what are you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, who was just talking? Was that Crystal?
Oh, I just was asking, was the woman he was sitting next to, was that his wife or that was one of the
No, that was
one of the panelists.
So the wife wasn't there.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sus.
So, Casey, what was your reaction to the video?
That whole last part just made me cringe. Like, ugh. And it's so ironic because I was having this very same conversation with somebody last night, and we were exploring the idea of polygamy. And the other person was saying that, it's natural and men were not made to stay with one partner, that it is natural for men to want to be with different women. And I was saying that I really don't think so, because you're spreading yourself thin, because sex is spiritual, right? Sex is a spiritual thing. And when you connect with somebody, you literally feel them in your entire being. So if you're sharing that type of intimacy with multiple people, like how are you going to feel in the end? I feel that you might end up feeling empty, like
I want to say it is sex. I agree with you to an extent, because sex is a bit different for a man, because
exactly, yes,
it can just be sex. Like it can just be a purely physical act, and we will literally not remember that person's name, face, a day, an hour later.
So, yes.
Yeah.
But if another nigga beating your girl out, you gonna remember his goddamn.
That's a difference, though. That's a difference, though. Like you'll never forget it. Because the difference is, like, for guys, if we choose that one woman, that we say, like, okay, this is mine. Even if we decide to have sex with someone else, it's like, no, this is still mine. This is still my heart. My heart belongs here. So it's like we can have sex, but our heart will still belong here.
Exactly.
So it's just it's odd to hear like that perspective, which is like, oh, we're in an open marriage and I chose to get on one knee and propose to her and say I'm going to provision and protect you for the rest of my life, but you could still get, blow some other dudes down the block if you want. Like, that's just weird to me. Like, here's
just a thought.
Very weird.
Here's a thought. From my understanding about sexual addiction on a male perspective and on a female perspective, sex addicts don't prefer to have sex with their partner. Sex addicts prefer to have sex. Now, this is clinical. This is not opinion. This is not, so don't nobody chime in if you understand what I'm saying, if you don't know what you're talking about, because this is from a clinical, it's been researched, okay? They do not prefer to have sex with their partner. They like voyeurism, and they like different people. They like getting married because it gives them a sense of normalcy and gives them a way to dissociate the behavior and the abnormalcy of that behavior. And they say, well, there's nothing wrong with me. Because here's the thing, polygamy and that sexual orgy shit is not the same thing. There's rules and regulations to polygamy. The number one wife is the boss, and she chooses who you marry. You don't choose the second 1, 2, and 3, and 4, the rest. She's the number one. She's the main wife. If she's on her menstrual or what, and you want some wife number 2, you up. Or wife number 3, or whatever. But one is over them all. That is polygamy. It's not a damn open marriage. What the hell he's talking about sounds just like sexual addiction. And I'm only married because I want to normalize the shit. And she might even be going along with it because the way she feel like she can't do any better. There's women that get talked into threesomes. Then they end up going to see a therapist because why? They feel some kind of damn way. They want to give it to him. He kept talking about it. I want to do everything to please my husband because that's the way they were raised. And this is how you keep a man and and all this other stuff and apple pie. And they did it, and now they can't live with themselves because this is a hard damn thing. I'm telling you, you ain't never broke up with a dude and he didn't quite break up with you. Like, it's over. No, it ain't. Why are you here? Nigga, I broke up with you 2 years ago. I mean, I seen you out with that nigga last night. We need to talk about it. What the fuck? I mean, that's how we are. Like, that's how some dudes are. Not all dudes. That's how some dudes are. Like, we are literally kind of on the possessive side. That's where their whole protection.
Men are naturally territorial, though.
Like, that's my shit's mine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not.
That's my girl. That's my baby mama.
That's why we don't just propose to just anyone.
Hell no.
Like, if we decide to propose, it's like, okay, this person. Yeah, it's like it's
damn
major.
right, bro.
It's
you
like,
really might get.
And then to propose and then send her to other people is just
that's crazy as hell.
Yeah,
like, how could you just sit there and watch that? Like, I could understand if you were, let's say you was paralyzed, right? You could no longer have sex, and y'all talk and say, listen, she said, I'm never leaving you. She's doing what she's supposed to do, but you ain't stupid. If you say, okay, well, I just want to watch, because it would hurt me if you went out there and something happened to you. He's paralyzed. He can no longer have sex with you, and he wants to be in the room while it's going on. I could understand that, but just to be perfectly okay, it is. I mean, he can't do nothing for it. When I say paralyzed, I'm talking about everything paralyzed. You follow?
Yeah, that's rough. Like, that's rough. I mean, you want to see her. You want to see her happy. Yeah.
There was there's been a specific case where I did know somebody, but they didn't go in the rooms. She just kind of never talked about it, but she had the green light to go out and satisfy herself with another man and stuff, but she didn't talk about it, and she would just go out with her girlfriends. At least that's what he, in her mind, but he didn't question her. So they agreed, no questions, no answers. And but just know I love you, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, you never know when something's going to happen.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that guy is completely fine.
Man, that guy was after what's his name, because he was really talking to her.
Oh, Stephanie?
Yeah, when he said, like, for example, I want to fuck you 3 to 7 times. He meant that. Yeah. Like, he was really talking to her. That's why he looked her right in the eyes and said, I want to fuck you 3 to 7 times. Like, he really meant that shit. Like, he's fishing. That's what we call fishing.
Shooting a shot. Hey, why not?
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there. That's not coffee in those mugs, bro. That's liquor, all right? It's good stuff.
But I don't think that everybody that participates in an open relationship has a sexual disorder. I just think that they are not all in with that person. Because I feel like if you are really giving all of yourself to a certain person, there is nothing left to share with another person.
Nothing.
Like, my husband always tells me, I can't have no side chicks because you take too much of me. I'm very demanding. I require a lot. I mean, as far as your money, your time, your love, your affection. If we both have car accidents at the same time, you can only help one. So you can't just say, it's just about sex, because if you're really giving of yourself to a person completely like you should be in a marriage, then even the sex part, there should be nothing left to go somewhere else.
Nothing.
Yeah.
There's always some underlying issue for persons who engage in that type of lifestyle, in my opinion. I really don't think it's normal. I think there is some underlying dysfunction. Maybe they were abused as children, molested as children. There are various scenarios, various reasons. It could be that they're commitment phobes. You know, they can't commit to any one person. Like, I literally know, like, I would say 2 persons right now who are in a similar situation. They're not married, but they're with somebody in a committed relationship, and they still, you know, play the field because they just can't commit to any one person. So a person like that, it's very easy for them to, you know, have casual sex, you know, and I think something is straight up wrong with them. Something is literally wrong with you, because you don't know what love is. I don't even think you love yourself if you engage in something like that, because when you, like Crystal said, you know, when you really love somebody, you voluntarily want to give up your all to them.
Yep.
Right? You want to serve them. You want to cater to them. You want to, like, just give up yourself. When you are in that type of situation, you have no time to see anybody else. I can speak from a personal standpoint. Like, when I was in a committed relationship, I would see guys that, like, typically would be considered hot, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, it's fine. Like, I literally don't feel anything because I'm so caught up with my guy. I'm so consumed with my guy.
So I guess you have to really be, like, for women, you have to love and respect that man to not really see any other man.
Yeah, you got to be all in. Once you're all in, it's like your lust radar turns off. Like,
but I don't think just for women. I think for men too.
Yeah. That's because I never thought
that one.
Nah, hey, listen here. I never thought for a while, man. I thought something was damn wrong with me. I never thought that my lust radar would turn off. Shit, it turned off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think about it. I mean, I think about it, but she know when I'm thinking about it, because I call up and worry to death. I'm like, what you doing? You at work? What you doing?
But I think
you
that
by yourself for about, you know,
like, you can
5
look.
minutes.
You can appreciate, you know, like, you can look and appreciate that somebody looks good, somebody is attractive. That's fine. You don't have to act on it. I think the differences come when you're saying, like, that you will not control yourself enough to stay committed to the relationship that you're in. That means that you're not in a relationship. Those 2 people have just agreed that they're going to come sleep in the same bed at night. That doesn't mean that they're in a really committed relationship. You're out doing whatever you're doing. That means that you're not available to me, so you're not mine.
Exactly.
It's not an open relationship, because there's no relationship. You're just
they basically
dinner together.
They basically roommates who agree to have threesomes every now and then.
Hold on a sec. Hold on. Chris and Travis, the Silent Bobs. What's going on? Talk to me. Right?
I think
you guys are like statues sitting on the side over there.
I think, referring to your clip here, it started out, I was like, this guy's like painfully honest, and I'm down with that. Honesty, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. But then the second half of the clip, I was like, oh, this took an interesting turn. I wasn't expecting this turn. They need to make a movie about those people.
They need to make a movie about it.
But I think it's just odd. Along with the rest of the panel, it's odd. It's uncomfortable. I don't think it's right for a bunch of different reasons. But I think we're onto something. And knowing that it's morally incorrect and possibly some mental disease happening there.
Really?
Exactly.
You think it would have to involve mental disease?
There's a reason that you want this.
There's a dysfunction.
There's a motivating operator that we are not aware of that is eliciting this behavior. Behavior is something that can be observed and measured. And there is a reason for this behavior, because it is not natural given the ego of a man, which wars have been started. People have been killed over this ego. Women have been beat up because of an ego. And you mean to tell me with this Negro, his ego is something that's so strong that it overpowers the damn ego?
But he don't care about her in the way that you're putting the way that you feel about your girl onto him. He don't feel that way about her. That's why it bother him.
No, the thing is, like, men are possessive.
This woman?
Men are possessive about their women, though.
Why
Men
would you marry this woman?
But that's what I'm saying. The reason that you would marry is clearly not the same reason for him. Maybe he married her because she was willing to let him continue to do that, and he needed somebody to keep his house clean. People get married for all sorts of reasons. It's not necessarily because he loved her and he said, "This is someone I can't live without." This is a woman that's giving him what he wants, whatever that is, and he's saying that he can continue to do what he's doing, and he don't care what she does.
Because she's the only woman that's going to allow him to have this open relationship with her.
Exactly.
All right, hold on. Let's get Chris comments in on this, and then we're going to move on to the next question because time flew really quickly. I didn't realize how much time flew. Okay, Chris, chime in, and then we're going to pull up someone to the panel for them to chime in, and then we're going to move on to the next question. Go for it.
Yes, I agree that men are very possessive. He doesn't make any sense to me. I think he's in the mentality where he's thinking, well, at least I have her. You know, at least she's mine. So she comes home to me at the end of the day. So she can, I'd much rather us be open, but us be married. Oh, I hear an echo. Is that me?
No, you're okay. You're good.
Okay. I'd much rather us be open and be married than her be with somebody else and me not have her at all. And so, yeah, I think it has to be some type of insecurity or something. When it comes to marriage, I agree with John. The way that I see marriage is like from a semi-business perspective. You know, like two companies, the entire company, 100% of each company comes together. And when they come together, they create 100% of a new company, you know. And in order to do that, you have to divest certain things. And one of those things is your extracurricular activities. Exactly. You know, you can't continue doing the things that you were doing before going into this new company, because then you're taking a part of your contribution that should be going to your marriage. You're taking that out of the marriage and you're putting that somewhere else, which means the value of your marriage is going down. If one person's putting in 100% and you're putting in 80%, you know, 100% times 80% is 80%. You know, you're not getting 100% out of that marriage. And so it's going to fail, in my opinion. That's how I see it.
All right. M3, what's going on, man? How you doing? You're muted.
Can you guys hear me?
I hear you now. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. What's going on, man?
I just want to say good afternoon to everyone in the panel. And hey, how you guys doing? I just want to say, like, with the polygamy topic, so I have a cousin, who's married as well too. And him and his wife, you know, they're trying to practice on that. And here's the thing. I know some people will most likely judge and say, well, why should, like, you know, this couple have more? Well, as far as my cousin is a guy, why should he have, like, more than one wife? You know, some would judge, like, as if it's like a sickness or so. But for some people, to each is their own, they look at it like it's a healthy relationship. I think overall, if both partners are on the same accord and they agree to it, because sometimes it might not even be the husband. It's probably just like the wife, because you have to understand that some people can be bisexual. And I know that, you know, for some, they probably prefer, like, to have the husband, you know, but also sleep with another woman on, like, you know, on the side. But what I was gonna say, I was trying to get to a point with the polygamy stuff, but I mean, overall, I mean, that's just my personal, like, opinion to it. You know, with the polygamy, I don't think it's a sickness. As a matter of fact, I just think, like, people get caught up too much, like, in the Western society of things. I mean, I'm not trying to be religious, but I mean, heck, in the Bible, like, it wasn't wrong, like, with, like, guys like King Solomon or David to have, like, multiple wives.
So that's not so much the
this is not multiple wives. This is
this is
partners. That's a whole different thing.
This is
That's
him
what I
running
said earlier.
around doing his own thing. This is her running around doing her
Yeah.
own thing with other guys.
Like
It's
your
an
cousin is
open
not
marriage.
talking about
This is
that.
an open marriage, not a
Not
polygamy.
polygamy.
Your
Yeah.
Yeah.
cousin
Oh, I'm
is
sorry. There's
talking
too many
about.
people. Okay.
Your cousin
Okay.
is talking about marrying somebody else. That's different. That's totally different. That's
Okay.
100% different.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if I had 4 wives, those
Yeah.
are 4 wives. I could sleep with any one of them 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's understandable, right?
Right.
But for me to go out to the thing and go with Tracy, Tina, Cherie, all these other girls, and I got these 4 over here. No, that's open. Like that's open. So like that's way different. They ain't talking about making no commitments. She sleep with who she want to sleep with, and the man sleep with who. And in the act of polygamy, if you want to practice true original polygamy, that's only for the man. It's not for the woman. It's for the man.
I do agree.
Multiple
that,
wives, not multiple
Yeah.
husbands. So that's what they was doing. That's what they was talking about. And I was like, man, that's a little sick. That's a little sick. But polygamy, I mean, we're not that. I know my old lady is watching. We are not into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't want her to misunderstand what I'm saying. So I'm gonna get that out there real quick. We are not into that. However, I do follow that same principle from an evolutionary perspective that a man was not designed to be with just one woman. You have to learn how to be with one woman. You have to learn how to be with just
You gotta
one
learn. It's true.
woman.
You gotta be disciplined. It
It's
takes
hard.
discipline.
And because you got some men, that's what I think. That's one of the reasons. This is just in my opinion. I think that's one of the reasons that it takes so long for a man to commit, because you
The
really
lust.
want to see a lot of different variety, and that's why I encourage young men, get out there, sow your wild oats, do your thing, because you don't need to, be curious once you find that woman who completes you. You don't need to be curious no more, bro. You need to just know. And plus, there's a lot of other essential benefits that come along with you playing the field. Like you actually learn how to be a better man. You learn how to be a better husband. You learn how to be a better everything because you got that life experience. You know how to spot her emotional cues. You know how to do all those things. So you don't need that curiosity. So I'm not against polygamy, but that shit is not polygamy. That's one big ass orgy. That's
Just to
one
wrap
big
up
ass
on this-
coronavirus, AIDS, and herpes syphilis all wrapped up into one.
Yeah.
I know CQ wanted to move on and go on to the next question, but I just want to wrap up on this. Like when I said that persons who practice like open marriage, they're dysfunctional. Maybe I might want to retract that because not everybody. I mean, in hindsight, not everybody does it for the same reason, because a lot of people practice different things for different reasons. And you got to think about the purpose or the reason behind it. Why are you doing this? What's the end goal? What's the objective? What are you trying to achieve? You have some persons though, like I was watching this movie called Newness. I don't know if you guys watched it on Netflix, and it was actually the female in the movie that liked to go out and have multiple relations with different men, and she got a buzz, she got a high from just having random sex with a new person.
See, at that point, I would say she's
that's a sex addict.
She's sex addict.
That is a sex addict.
So, but then hear the funny thing: the guy was so in love with her that after finding out that this is how she is, he accepted her. He accepted it. It was hard for him, but he accepted it because he loved her. So, I mean, you got to look at what is the motive, what is behind this type of behavior. Is it a dysfunction? Is it a sickness?
Yep.
Or is it just somebody who just want to explore, maybe not really in love with the person that they're with? Because I can tell you, if you are dating somebody or you're with somebody and you're just like, they have all the qualities you're looking for, but that's one thing. You're just not attracted to them. You're just not sexually aroused by them. But guess what? You're saying, hey, listen, if they have 9 out of the 10 qualities, I ain't giving up on them because they have 9 out of the 10 qualities. So I will go get the other one from somebody else. So you may want to squeeze it in to say, hey, you know, like, what do you think about like us seeing other people, you know, kind of thing, because you trying to get your groove on.
Yeah.
So like, it just varies. It really varies, you know.
Well,
So
okay,
if we
I'll
are-
say.
if we're sticking with the concept of it is a sickness, like staying with that premise, right?
Yeah.
If you are married, part of our vows to each other is in sickness and in health, and so does that type of
Oh,
sickness
shit.
apply to the vows that we take at marriage?
The fucking loophole. The damn loophole. I knew if anybody was gonna come up with it, it was gonna be Crystal or your ass. One of them find that damn loophole. It was either gonna be Crystal or you, and your ass spoke first. The loophole, so it says in sickness or in health. Like,
But I think if it's a clinically diagnosed sickness, not
Right.
just because you got caught cheating and now you want to claim what I got a sex addiction. That's not the same thing that we need to stick beside you. But I think if it's a clinical problem that you are acknowledging and seeking help actively, then you would treat it like you would treat any other addiction and hopefully ride with that person until it's too
ride it till the wheels fall off.
That's a good clarification.
Fall off when it goes
Before, just before.
What was that movie by Tyler Perry with the black woman who was a sex addict? Was it Sexual Addiction? Wasn't it Sex Addiction or something like that? Was the name of the movie? She was having sex with like every damn body. I'm talking about everybody. She was meeting up in bathrooms, having sex all over.
We're getting an echo from someone.
It might be me. It is me.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Is that better?
Yes, much better.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Wait. We gotta again. It's again. Time is moving, sir. Time is moving. All right. M3. Do you have any last closing comments, statements to the panel, to anyone? What's going on?
Yes, I was just gonna say this, right? I still wouldn't even call it like a sickness. I would say like the woman's just trying to explore it, especially if she now, like I said, forget about the marriage part, right? A single woman who has all these options, a single woman who has all these options, she's just exercising her options that she has. Just like if you had the options to have multiple women, beautiful women coming after you, you would probably be doing the same thing.
Let's create that.
Man, you're starting that conversation. I want to continue this conversation. You're starting it back up.
But that's all I was just saying. You know?
Look. Literally, I think Casey was just saying it. Like when women are with someone that they admire and respect, and admire, love, and respect, they don't see another guy.
You don't.
Right.
They don't see other men. So to be with a woman and she's kind of like, oh, you know, I'm feeling this, like I kind of want to be open with other men. It's like you're not hitting everything that you need to. You're not hitting all the check boxes. You know, you as a man, there's something else.
Don't really want.
You as a man, there's something else that you need to, you know.
Well, yeah, it's a void that you're missing, but I still wouldn't label it as like a sickness. It's just something that
I wouldn't label it as a sickness as well, but you know, as a guy, it's your responsibility to step up and fix it.
Or just don't date the person. That's simple as that. I mean, if you don't like it and you feel some type of way, don't be in a relationship with somebody that I guess have a quote unquote sex addict, you know, or a quote unquote like, you know, sickness or whatever. You have the choice. There's plenty of women that you can mess around with if you want to. You don't have to deal with that particular one. But if you're sticking around with that relationship, you're agreeing to that.
Right.
So
yeah.
That's
fair. That's fair. All right, I gotta pull Mr. Hall of Fame up next. So do you want to give a quick shout out to your channel?
Sure. So my YouTube channel is Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. I stream mostly on Mondays and Thursdays, 5:30 Pacific time. Feel free to check me out, and if you like the channel, feel free to subscribe.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thanks for coming up, man. Thanks for supporting.
Yeah, no problem. All right,
thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye. See you later.
All right, so we're gonna bring up one last person. And then we're finally gonna move on to the next question. Mr. Hall of Fame. How you doing?
What's going on, CKQ? What's going on, panel? How y'all doing?
Hey.
What's good? Yeah.
What are we talking, bro? What are you saying?
Listen, we have to start putting men and women both in different categories. Okay? There's women, and then there are thoughts. There's men, and then there are beta males and suckers. And that's just really what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't start putting in the categories, then, that's what things get confused. A real man and a real woman, yes. If you're a real man or you're a real woman, you're going to have standards, morals, boundaries, and you're going to be working to be your best self. And you're going to make sure that the partner that you choose is going to be doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. They're not going to bring down, who you are as a person. They're going to help you to elevate. They're going to help you to be better, and they're going to help you to achieve your goals. And you're also helping them achieve their goals as well. And you're bringing happiness and stability to them as well. That's what real men and women both seek. Both men and women both want that, both. So it's not just a woman thing. You know what I mean? It's not just a man thing. It's both. Both want love, stability, happiness, all the great things in a relationship. Every real man and woman want that. So that's one. Secondly, most people are only as faithful as their options. So you're going to be as faithful as your options most of the time, depending on what your options are. So if you have the access and the resources to date multiple people, to do multiple things, or to travel anywhere you want to, that temptation is going to be so big for you. It's going to be very hard to turn it down. Some people, learn how to be disciplined with it, but nobody masters that at first, unless they already been trained, by good parents. Or, a good elder or somebody else has trained that person in order to accumulate all these different resources and all these different things that they're able to have access to. So if you're not trained to how to do that, if you're not mature enough to do that, if you're not giving basically the knowledge in order how to handle this, you're going to be all over the place. You're going to be a mess. You know what I mean? You're going to be dating this one, going here, doing that, doing this, because you're able to. There's no consequence. You know what I mean? Secondly, lastly, I'll say this. The new wave now is dating other people. That's a new wave. New wave is dating other people, extended families, blended families. That's the new wave. That's the new America. People doing it now for comfort. They're doing it for financial resourcing. They're doing it to have ultimate intimacy on all levels, not just physical, but on all levels. They're doing it to have kids. They're doing it to maintain a career. They're doing it to have housing. So it's used on different levels in order for people to have a source of comfort. So that one household with just two partners, that's traditional. That's old school. That's an old wave.
True.
The new wave now is, hey, I can have this person, that person. Then they can have their set of people. We all come together. We all make bank. We all do this together. We all have all these resources. You know what I mean? That's what people are thinking now. That's the mind frame of a lot of young people. And then when you're able to mix that with intimacy as well as money, that's a crazy combination. Intimacy, money, comfort, that's a crazy combination. So that's what's going on in society. And that's my take on
it. Interesting outlook.
Yeah, I would say interesting too.
Yeah, that's because I guess that's the word of the night for that one.
With the whole options, as a man, you create your own options.
Yeah,
like a woman's not just gonna come to you
intentionally.
And only somebody who thinks that. I mean, if you think a woman comes to you, it's because you're insecure and you don't have that confidence to go out. A man hunts. A man goes out there and he hunts. And I always created my own options. I had to learn how not to back off of options. Because options will come even when I didn't want them to come. Just because this thing called charming. I mean, if you're a charming person, women just rock on to you, especially when you got stuff to talk about and you're an interesting guy and you've done a lot of things in life. So that's one thing. And then the other thing about this new wave, they don't believe in anything. They have no foundation. And because they have no foundation, they fall for the next damn trend. So how everything is trending, that's how they believe in, because they don't have anything to ground them and have any moral established in their beliefs, because less than 1% of the population believes in God at all. So because of that, they have all this information that we're talking about, there's guidelines to this, and it's biblical. You find that gives you an outline, basic instructions before leaving Earth. If you follow that, you're going to be a better person. You're going to be a better husband. You're going to be a better parent. You're going to be a better wife. Period, point blank, end discussion. Don't even matter about how just because you have a right to do something doesn't mean it's right. It just means you have a right to do something. I can choose to do whatever the hell I want to do, but there's consequences behind that choice. So when you go out and you married and you fucking this person, that person, this person is fucking this person, that person, this person. Well, don't be surprised when your consequence, you don't like it. When your consequence is a gift that keeps on giving. When your consequence is that you found the right person and somebody gets killed because that person you thought was okay, but this person was really not okay. This nigga got the pussy and he really ain't ready to let it go. So he gonna off your ass because you all out here fucking everybody. You agreed to be with this one person, not to bring 19 different damn people into y'all bed and call that shit normal, and we have a right to do that. Like, that's just fucking weird, period. That's my take on it.
Thank you for still on my line. I'll copyright it soon. And as usual, John, you don't listen to anything I'm saying because I did not say any of that. But it's all good. Still love you, bro. One, I never said that any of this was right. Of course it's wrong. Of course it's wrong. You know, we all know that it's morally not correct.
Exactly.
You know, but like I said, I never said it was morally correct. So that's one. So that's one point that you completely missed out.
I never said you said anything. All I did was make comments on what you said, but I ain't say you said it.
But if you're gonna make a comment on what I said, it has to be accurate into what I'm saying. And I'm ready to say that. The statement that you're making has no context. Yeah, it has no context of what I'm talking about because that's not what I said. So that's that. Not only that, you know what I mean. Lastly, then I'm gonna go because I'm gonna let y'all rock out. You know, when it comes to as far as, you know, the first point you make, listen, you know, no man in his right mind is looking for a woman, you know, or his mom or anybody else, or his auntie or anybody else to create resources for him. You know what I'm saying? No real woman is looking for a real man to create resources for them. They're going to be motivated on their own. They're gonna have the tools necessary to do those things, whether it's through their own background and the way they grew up, or just through them putting in the work themselves.
Well, most of the time, agree on that.
Most of the time, you know what I'm saying, it's from both. It's the way you grew up and what you were taught, and it's you doing your own work. But with our generation, because the modern family has been broken, especially in the urban communities, we have a lot of broken homes. A lot of people are getting it within the mud. They're getting out of the mud and they're doing it on their own because they have no other resources. Their parents are not there. They're not stable, and they have to do it the way they have to do it. You know, so, you know, we have to live in reality. And we have to understand the reality of the situations, and that's what messes us up. You know what I mean? You have to understand what time you're living in. Understand, yes, certain things are morally wrong, you know, but once you have the understanding of what you're facing, and you know what you're doing, you know who your enemy is, you know how to attack it, it allows you to basically be equipped, you know what I mean, do what you have to do, maintain your standards, pursue your goals, love yourself, love others, to be a great person. With that, y'all, love y'all, I'm out.
Bye.
All right.
I think
take care.
With that, I think that he's talking about looking for stability in a very unstable place. You can't expect stability in an environment of instability, right? And so that's kind of I think that's the premise.
That's a moot point. You can say
problematic.
Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. Which was my point.
Interesting, guys. We are 2 questions in. Okay, I mean this has been a strong panel. I like everything that's been happening so far. But let's go on to the 3rd question of the night. Can asking for sex ruin a mood? And can you ever just expect sex?
Hell yeah. You gotta know how to set it up. You gotta
start it off.
Shit, you know what, bruh? We talked about this. I'm going to just school everybody. Listen, man.
But not everyone else talks with us. Okay,
All right. So listen here, fellas. All right, you don't bust down the door. Well, you can. That can be sexy as hell. But when you want sex, man, especially when you're been in a long relationship, you gotta set that shit up. Like you set it up here. You gotta call her, flirt with her a little bit. She know your signs. You got to know her signs. You should have been paying attention. Y'all been together for a while. You can expect sex by the way that you read your partner. she's gonna let you know, and she's gonna know when you want it. She's
Wait,
also
hold on. I gotta stop you.
What?
Because I feel like you're gonna flip some people's minds, and I want to hear everyone's point of view first.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nicole. Oh yeah. Nicole, let's start with you.
So, is the question? Can you ever expect sex dating somebody, or are you talking about when you're married?
Oh yeah, I was thinking long-term relationship. Yeah, what
long term.
Long-term relationship. Yeah, you can definitely just expect sex.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like you got to communicate with your partner. You know,
Okay.
I know when my husband.
What about
wants to
both?
do
You know what?
something-
Let's do both. Both.
Okay, so when you're just dating somebody, no, you cannot expect just sex because you're dating them. You really don't know who they are.
Okay.
I think if you expecting sex, you should communicate that. I mean, that guy on that podcast.
That's right. I'm with you.
Just go with it. Now, what I'm saying is, but yeah, you have to communicate. Yeah, I want sex and I want to get with you tonight, and she could tell you hell no or let's go. I mean, just have open communications about that. So, but in a marriage, can it ruin the mood? Yeah. I mean, if I'm not in the mood and he wanted it, it ain't gonna happen. You know, I feel like the woman kind of controls what happens and what don't happen.
Damn, that is so.
I mean,
as a guy, what are you supposed to do though? Like,
shit, you set that shit up earlier in the day, bro. I'm trying to tell you what the hell you do.
If she don't want to do it, she ain't got to do it. So, I mean, but I think there's situations or times where you can't expect just sex.
So the question is, can asking for sex ruin the mood?
Yeah.
Can asking? Yeah. Like if I'm sitting here watching TV or something, I'm not in the mood at all. Or just I'm not on the same
watching some Law and Order.
Yeah, I'm watching Law and Order, and he's like, "Can I get some sex?"
Fuck no.
You know, there's got to be certain moods that y'all in, or certain like. I feel like both y'all got to be in the mood to want to do it, but there's times where maybe you haven't done it in a while, and you know your husband needs to be pleased, so you're gonna go do it. You just expect sex.
Okay, that's fair.
My thought.
Chris, the silent statue over there.
I knew I was going to be next. I felt it. Yes and no. Like, does it have to be verbal? Like, does asking for it have to be verbal, or can it just be like eye contact, or like can it be like
so
in verb? Like,
if it's a point of eye contact, then like both people are already comfortable with it. So at that point, no.
Oh, I mean like long term relationship. Like, do you have to? Okay, never mind.
No, go. Ask your question.
No, I'll stick to them. I'll make it simple. Verbal cues. Okay. No nonverbal cues. I would say I agree with Nicole there. So it depends on how you ask the question. I don't necessarily agree that, in my opinion, I don't think I necessarily control sex. I think my partner would control the sex, like, because I always go into a relationship assuming that the man's going to have a higher sex drive than me. And so I'm ready for that. So if I sign up to be with him, I have to make that sacrifice and try to be ready to go when he is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that part I disagree with. And so if he says, can we have sex? It wouldn't ruin the mood for me, but I feel like if I were to ask, it would ruin the mood because
you want it to be more like spontaneous. So he kind of made it happen.
Yes.
Playing into what John was saying, you got to plan it ahead.
Yes. When it comes to can you ever just expect sex? I feel like most men do. I feel like most men, when they date somebody, they go with the expectation that, like, obviously they have some type of sexual attraction for the person. And so their expectation is that some point in that encounter, no matter how long like that dating period lasts, that they're expecting sex at some point. When they expect it, I can't say, but I do think that men typically do. And I think women go in knowing that the man could be expecting it. So I think there's kind of, it differs for men and women. I think women, not so much. I think if they ask, it can kind of mess up the mood for a man, the men typically want to see more like nonverbal cues. They want to know that you want him, that he turns you on. And then when it comes to, can you
wait, hold on, wait, repeat that again. Say that again.
So I feel like if a man lets you know, like, hey, I want to do this, can we have sex? And woman's like, yeah, like it's not really going to necessarily turn her off. Of course, you should build up to it throughout the day. I'm not saying like don't do that.
Yeah. Stand strong on your point. I'm just asking because I don't think I heard it correctly, or I didn't understand it correctly. So just repeat it for me one more time, please.
Okay, so I think it's different for men and women. Okay, so for the second part, I think men, when they start dating, they have an expectation that they're going to have sex with this person, and they're at least hoping to. And they're dating this person with the expectation that they're going to eventually have sex. I think women, it can be a little bit different. It's like they're not necessarily expecting that. Typically, they're expecting to be wine and dined or something different, not necessarily something physical. And I think on the other side, for the flip side, the first part of the question, when it comes to asking for sex, I think men can sometimes get away with just asking for sex because women, like for me personally, I know my sex drive isn't as high as his. So I kind of, if he, wants it at that point, I'm like, oh, thanks for letting me know, and then we'll build up to, if I'm getting really personal here, but you build up to it. But as far as like for me saying it, I feel like there are other things I have to do behind the scenes that are more nonverbal because I don't want to talk too much in order to kind of get things going. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It would happen. It would flow a little bit easier that way. So I get what you're saying.
What happened to Nicole?
She'll be back.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? I feel like it was too complex.
No, it's not too complex.
That was fine.
Yeah, it made sense.
We get it.
Cool. Got it.
Travis.
So can asking for sex ruin a mood? I don't think it should. I think that this just goes to like basic consent and communication, which both of these things are really important. So if I'm asking for sex, for me as a male in the United States, I just see that as asking for consent.
All right, Travis, you don't got to give the politically correct answer. All right, I promise there's no cops here. There's no cops here.
I know there's no police. At least I hope there's no police. But that's just how I think. In this,
you don't gotta come now, guys.
Specifically. And then can you ever expect sex? I don't know. I don't think that John said like scheduling and whatnot. I don't think you need to send like a Google Calendar invite.
No,
but
I'm not saying no scheduling. I said you gotta set that shit up, and from an emotional standpoint, you gotta flirt with her. You gotta turn her on up here, and she'll be more receiving when your ass get home. Flirt with her. Ask her like, what kind of panties you got on? Where you at? What you doing?
Yeah, there's certain things.
Goddamn, talk dancing to her. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I think that in a lot of scenarios you can expect it for sure.
You do that, you can expect it for effects.
Right.
Yeah.
Casey, what are you saying? What are we talking?
I like Travis.
This is actually one of my favorite topics.
Yeah, girl, mine.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, we should consider doing an after dark uncensored continuation. But anyway, let me behave myself. I'm trying to stick to the question and not go off on a tangent. So, can asking for sex ruin a mood? Let me answer that part first, and then I move on to the other part. It can ruin a mood if you're dating and you have not signaled to the guy that you're there yet. So if we're dating and the guy feels like, hey, I think I've passed the 90-day rule and I'm ready to get some, and him just cannot hold out anymore, and he's like, hey, yeah, can I? And he like verbally say to me, can I have some sex? That's gonna turn me off. Like, I'm gonna be royally annoyed because I'm like, listen, if I wanted to bang you, I would send you the signals. And if I wanted to bang you, trust me, I wouldn't wait until the 90 days. So you shouldn't be asking me, right? I kind of feel like that's kind of disrespectful. It's like you're being demanding now, So in the dating phase, if you ask at the wrong time, yes, it can be a turn off. If you're in a serious relationship, however,
listen, I wasn't the only one that heard 90 days. Like, wait, is it 90? Like 90? Like, okay, all right, cool.
You just slip that in there.
You need time to know the person. You can't just be giving it up like that. Anyway, I'm old school, by the way, so I'm old school mixed with a little, new school, whatever. But yeah, if I'm in a committed relationship, however, and this is my person, this is my guy, he wouldn't have to ask me because he will know when I want it. And it depends too, because if we're texting, trust me, asking for sex through texting is different from asking for sex verbally, or in person. So, those are the emojis, with the corn and, those stuff, like that's asking for sex, but you're not gonna be like, hey, can I have sex with you? Like, that's corny as hell. That's corny and it's lame, and I don't expect that from my guy because my guy would know better. So yeah, he would know better.
And them wet droplets, goddamn. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the tongue.
There we go. The 90-day rule. That's what happens to that.
What?
I can't keep my Netflix account longer than 90 days.
Whatever.
I think you're onto something though with the first time being different, right? The first time, I think, going to Chris's point, it's more of nonverbal cues, right? It's not a verbal ask; it's more of those nonverbal cues for the first time, right?
Yes,
and so I can see the argument there.
Yeah, it can be a turnoff because it has happened to me where I'm seeing somebody, we're going out, we're dating, and obviously the person just cannot hold the tension anymore, and you feel like, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for the kill. I'm gonna ask her, like, can I, whatever, and I'm like, oh, slow your roll. We're not there yet.
Asking. That's a little much.
Yeah, so in that situation, it can ruin a moment. It can ruin stuff right there. If it's a long-term relationship, if my man asks me, I have no problem because that's what communication should be. You should be able to express yourself, tell me what you want when you want it, right? But then you're gonna create a relationship in such a way that he doesn't have to say outrightly, hey, I want sex. He's gonna know you to the point where he knows what to say, how to say, when to say, kind of thing. Then to go on to the second part of the question, which is, do you ever just expect sex? During the dating phase, no, you cannot just expect sex unless that's what you're going into the arrangement for. Just depends on what type of arrangement it is. If it's just going to be, if you guys already established from the jump that this is just going to be a sexual kind of situation, then fine. Then you're going to expect that because that's what you guys agree upon. But if it's not one of those, then you can't expect that because you don't know the person well enough to know what to expect. If it's a long-term committed relationship, then hell yes, you're gonna expect sex. I mean, who's gonna be in a long-term relationship and ain't getting anything? Like, you got to go.
No guy.
What?
A lot of married men, they ain't damn had sex since honeymoon, bro.
And and that leads me to my other point. I'm just gonna say this. I don't want to take over your show, but for the married women on here, I'm just gonna this is my personal belief. You don't have to subscribe to it. Not trying to impose, but if you are married, you have a duty to you have a sexual obligation and duty to your husband to fulfill his sexual needs. No, I'm not saying there aren't going to be exceptions. Yeah, you got a menstrual. Yeah, you might not be feeling well, various reasons, but right. So I'm not saying 10 out of 10 times you're going to give in, but you should make it a priority to ensure that you try to get yourself in the mood. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you got to do to get yourself in the mood without him having to initiate it all the time, or he has to be like on your case, and it seems like, oh my God, sex is just like a task. Oh my God, I don't want to do this. Like, if you have that mental attitude towards sex, that's gonna that can cause problems in your relationship. So, and I'm telling you, with men, I'm not saying that sex by itself is sufficient for a man to stay with you, but it is
damn sure help.
big. It's not, but it's once you are in that union, that's the glue that holds that relationship together, or one of the glues that hold the relationship together. So you want to pay attention to that area. That's all I gotta say. I'm done. Move on to the other person.
Who hasn't
Crystal?
yet? Crystal.
So I'm gonna get back to you in a minute, Casey. I'm gonna get to you in a minute.
Yes, I like it.
As far as the question, I agree with Travis. Consent is king. And the number one baseline understanding of consent is that it can be withdrawn at any time. So you can never expect sex because you have to have consent for it. That's my belief.
You can never expect it?
No.
Never.
Even when married?
No. You can. Can you expect that your wife will have sex with you? Yes. But can you expect it today? No.
Oh, okay. No, that's different.
No.
Wow.
You
Wow.
have to consent. Both parties must consent every time.
Not in Alabama, they don't.
Damn, bro.
No, I'm serious.
No, I know that like legally married there. I know what you're talking about, John.
Yeah.
But for
I had to throw
for
that
my
in there.
answer, you're talking about us going for the loopholes. You went for the legal loopholes. But I think that as far as asking, I agree with what people have said about there's different ways to ask so that it doesn't ruin the mood. But Casey was right. If you're just coming out the first, you took me to Applebee's that one time, and now here you come being vulgar and blunt about it.
Coming out the gate.
Yeah.
That's
Block and delete, instant.
Yeah. But as far as the marital duties, I would have to respectfully disagree. I know Nicole is gonna get me because we talk about this all the time.
You ain't the only one gonna get you.
There we
I'm
go.
gonna get you.
And I will just say that I think that to say that because I am married to someone that I am obligated to have sex with him to fulfill a need that he has, I have needs that need to be fulfilled as well. And this is a partnership. So we should both be equally fulfilling each other's needs. And if I am not having my needs fulfilled, then don't say that I have an obligation to.
Oh, you took that turn on it. Oh.
I mean, because we're putting. She addressed this comment specifically to women. The men's obligation in this was not addressed at all. So
that's understood by us. I promise you, it's understood by us. You ain't gotta tell us that shit. We got it. We got it.
No, homie.
Are you serious? This nigga's out
True.
there like that?
No. Yes, she's right. She's right.
Yeah,
I think that women, while we may not have what I guess is considered the sexual need, like maybe men have a stronger need in that area. I feel like we do have other needs that if they aren't being met, it's going to reduce our inclination to want to fulfill that need. So you're going to tell me that you want me to hold down everything in the household, take care of the kids, do X, Y, and Z, and still look amazing, do all these things, and then I have to come and have sex with you. Well, what did you do for me? What was the handoff that I received?
See, I knew you was gonna be the tough one.
Incentivize me.
You and fucking Travis. I swear to God, bro. Like you and damn Travis in these loopholes.
Because all I heard was that I have a responsibility, but I didn't hear anything about a responsibility that somebody has to me.
Okay, all right.
I agree.
Well,
That's
okay,
a good
so
point.
let me.
That's a good point.
It is a good point. Yeah,
That's a good point right there.
I got you, girl. I agree with her 100%.
I agree, I agree. Nigga, you ain't earned no ass.
But
You shouldn't be giving
exactly.
you no ass.
You should earn it. And if you haven't done anything, why am I giving you anything?
Because think of it like this.
But if you are doing everything that I want, like you
my needs, act a damn fool.
it's my duty to make sure he is satisfied as well.
But I feel like saying duty is different because I feel like if you guys are both equally focused on meeting the other person's needs, then it won't feel like a duty, and you won't have to ask for it, and you're gonna want to give him what he needs and what he's looking for. But
do you think
like
men and women both come with duties in a relation in a marriage?
Yes. Yeah.
But I feel like the burden is higher on the woman. I feel like if we were to go around and we were to list what people typically think is a wife's duties and a husband's duties, the wife's list is going to be much longer. You're going to say that the husband should cut the grass, earn money, and take out the trash. And then everything
Their
else
list is like this.
to make a marriage and a family and a household run is going to fall to the woman. So
let me comment on this.
Go ahead.
Since I was the one that rocked the boat, let me just clarify.
Casey, go ahead.
Let me just clarify here.
Travis, I hope you're getting some good stuff for how to adults, all right?
Oh, yeah, we're learning how to adult right here.
The argument that I propose is on the basis of all things being equal, right? So we're not talking about the extremities here. We're not talking about a husband who is not fulfilling his role, because obviously he needs to be playing his role too. All things being equal, we cannot be saying to our husband, hey, I'm not in the mood. And you have all these excuses, like you just don't want to be having sex. Either you have a low libido, or maybe he's not hitting it right, and you don't know how to communicate that to him. You don't know how to say to him that, hey, listen, you're not pleasing me in the way that I want to be pleased. So instead of you having that awkward conversation with him, you just shut down. Your body just shut down. So they're like different reasons. So all I'm saying is that if the sex part of the relationship is not it's not synchronized, then there are going to be issues. A lot of issues are going to pile up from that.
Yeah. So, but I think that sometimes the issues can pile up and cause that, as opposed to that being the foundation.
That too. It could be the reverse. It could be the reverse, because sex is psychological, you know? So definitely it could be the reverse, but then that's where communication comes in. And that's when you guys got to be open and honest about your feelings, because you guys could have an argument last week and you tell yourself that the argument has been resolved, but it plays out in the bedroom
some kind of way.
Yeah, exactly.
It plays out in the bedroom. So, I guess there's no one way to this at all. But all I'm saying, ladies, and the reason why I put the spotlight on us, us women, is because it has been a traditional view that women tend to lock shop. Men not locking shop. Men not locking shop. Men, listen to me. Let me talk patois now. Men, they don't care what the argument's about. They don't care about none of that. Once they are in the mood and they're ready, like everything goes through the window. So women are the ones that hoard their stuff. We keep things in, we hold on to stuff, and that affects us in the bedroom. So all I'm just saying is that when it comes on to sex, just make sure that your heart is free and you're ready to give up yourself, because it is a duty. In marriage, it is a duty.
But John, let John go.
All right, so look. That's why I said what I said in the very first beginning, bro. You a man, bro. Your job, you can get this whenever you want. You just gotta know, period. And I ain't talking about some just slick shit out your mouth. You know if she mad as hell at you about something, make that shit right. You know if you ain't been doing shit she wants you to do, make that shit right. You gotta show her that you listen and paying attention to what the fuck she talking about, that you hear her. You just come out the blue with some shit that she talked to you about that was a goal of hers. Accomplish that fucking goal for her. Do it. You blow money on some of the dumbest shit in the fucking world. Go blow some money on her that something that she really meant. If she mentioned it more than twice, nigga, it's important. So then you need to make that happen. It could be something as simple as her having a fucking business idea and you going and perfect example. Your wife come to you with a fucking business idea. She's not really happy at work, right? So rather she mentioned this shit once 3-4 months ago. Then she brought it up again last week. You do the investigation. You write the business plan. You give her a clear fucking roadmap and ask her, is this what she was talking about? You make some phone calls. You put some balls in motion, and you talk and you flirt with her a little bit. You come home and you talk with her about this. Then you start flirting with her a little bit more. You get some ass, I promise you, because you heard her. She fucking think, damn, he was listening. Like, girl, boy, I got a good ass man. Boy, we go watch this ass real quick. I'm finna give him some. That's how that shit work. You don't have to sit down and say, hey, we fucking tonight, right? Yeah, you gotta kill me. That's lame as hell.
You didn't win over Crystal yet. You didn't win her over yet. You tried almost.
I'm just saying, you gotta take care. I'm with Crystal on that. You gotta take care of what the fuck it is. You gotta take care of. You just don't deserve no booty. Like, you gotta earn the booty.
Let me ask you this. So you told us earlier that you expressed to your girl that you are lazy. You gonna kick your stuff off.
Oh my God, Crystal, you're not going there. Oh,
no, I'm just saying.
So
what if what she's asking is not support with her business idea, but she needs you to pitch in and start helping her keep the house clean because she's too tired at night when she come home from work?
Bruh, I got you on that. Hell yeah, because I want some ass. Yes.
That's today. I'm talking about going forward. I need you to help me lighten this load to free me up so that I can have the energy to do this. Are you willing to do that?
But then, hold on. I got a question for that though. But didn't he originally step in saying, "Hey, this is who I am. Yes. These are my areas of weakness."
Yes,
which
is why I picked that.
Yeah, and that's fine. Listen, that is fine. You have just told me a roadmap how to get the booty. I will change that shit up because sex is a higher fucking motivation than being fucking lazy. That's a motivating operator. You telling me I'm gonna get reinforced with some ass if I help you? Bitch, I got you. Where you want me to start? I need you to supervise me so I do the shit right because I don't want you come behind me doing nothing. Is this right?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And I would be vulnerable like that with my wife, not with no fucking girlfriend. I'm not doing fuck all that. But with my wife, hell yeah, because it makes sense, bro. If I'm not helping none, you gotta evaluate the situation. Why ain't you getting some ass? One, maybe y'all have a baby, right? You work all day, and me personally, if we have a kid, I know from a psychological, from a developmental point of view. My baby is not going to a daycare. It's not happening. He needs to be at home with his mama for the first 3 years, point blank, period. I wouldn't have got you pregnant if I couldn't afford it. We gonna put that baby. I'm not paying a stranger to do for you. I will give you your own money, the same amount that you got access to the fucking money anyway. But whatever you need, whatever you don't worry about that. We got this. All things considered. She probably tired as hell. So if I want some booty, I'm gonna have to pitch in. I ain't stupid. It's common sense. Yeah, I'm lazy, but that don't mean I'm lazy. Don't mean I don't wash dishes now. That don't mean I don't take. Hell, I'm the only one here. I have to take the damn trash out. I have to vacuum the damn place. Do I like it? Fuck no. Would I want somebody else to do it? Hell yeah. But I can't, so I won't. And I told her that up front. I didn't assume that this is gonna be what I need you to do. No, I'm telling her I don't like doing this shit. I want you to do it. But if she turn around and tell me, well, I ain't been giving you none, boo, I'm too tired. Oh, I got you. Not a goddamn problem. We'll fix that. We will fix that. And I'll start that morning. I'll feed her ass breakfast in bed. I'm going to clean up the fucking dishes. I'm going to get up with the baby all goddamn night. I'm going to go to work like a damn dog, and I'm going to flirt with her all day, and I'm coming home. I'm telling you, I'm going to give me some booty that night. That's how they work. Next question.
Just don't do it for just that one day. And
I do it. I'm doing it from then on. Like I'm real considerate.
Okay, so I mean, that's what I was listening to. Like the fact that you said, okay, you would have to also put a stipulation to her. Listen, supervise me and make sure I'm doing this to your liking. Yeah, because I don't want to have to do this and then redo it all over again because now I'm just annoyed.
Right, yeah. I don't want to do it half-ass because I know I get too damn excited. I'll just be like, going through it, just going through the motions. You
throw the clothes in the closet. You don't even wash them. Yeah, just stuff it in there real quick. Close the closet. It's good.
It'll dry on its own. It's heat in here. 70 degrees. It's good. But yeah.
All right. That was good. I think we got through everyone on that question, right? Mm-hmm. Did anyone? All right. Nicole, did we get to you? You did drop out.
Yeah, I dropped out right after I talked. So.
Oh, okay, perfect. Cool. Next question to the panel.
Ooh.
With the current dating market, most men and women that are dating are in a competition to see who cares the least.
Well,
with the current dating market, most men and women that are in the dating market are in competition to see who cares the least. Agree, disagree, comments? Let's start.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody on this panel is married or in a committed relationship. Well, I'm basically married, so everybody on here pretty much locked in. We ain't in the dating.
You have single friends.
No. Yep, I do.
Really?
I do.
All right.
I do.
Well, this is a bad panel to put that question to. Then you guys suck.
I think the current dating situation is pretty stupid.
I'll take a shot at it.
Okay, let's see.
I don't know. I don't know who coined this question, but I would replace the word least with most. I don't. Why?
I know what he's trying to say. Like,
you know what he's trying to say.
The whole thing out there is that, like, I don't care. I'm good.
Correct.
I don't need you. Yeah. Okay.
Because people don't want to seem clingy. They don't want to seem like too much because I can see it.
What's the word they got now? Why is it escaping me? There's a word for men. Simp. Right? Ain't that what this
Simp? She should have been on the last panel because we
had that conversation last week. Yeah. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
It was.
Man.
So I think they care the least. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's because they.
All right, you know what? Let me try to switch this up if I can. Should thinking about who has a higher standing in a relationship, should that be a thought process while you're in a relationship? Who has a higher standing, meaning who demands more out of the other person?
I think
it's
that's
just
like reality. Yeah, I think that's just reality in a relationship. Obviously, some people, one person in the relationship might need a little bit more than the other person does. For example, my wife has generalized anxiety disorder, so she obviously needs a little bit more than me, more from me than I need from her in the mental health sphere because I don't suffer from mental health disorders. So I think that it's just a reality of relationship. One person, in many cases, may need more from their partner, and that's something that the other partner comes into the situation already knowing or already comfortable with. And so that would be my knee-jerk reaction, my response to that kind of scenario.
Yeah.
I think with this question, I am seeing a power struggle type situation where it's like one person want to establish themselves as being the dominant figure, the person that's in control, type of thing. Yeah. And usually women want to be that. Men too, because obviously they're the authoritative figure. But women also want to know that, hey, I can press his buttons when I want to, kind of thing, So I really don't know. I really don't know because we in a market now where like nobody stays with anybody. Like you date people by the click of a button. You swipe left, swipe right. It's just like
Yeah, but I think a lot more people are looking for something real. Like
the more options you have, the more you crave something real.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. The more options you have, the more you crave something real. But more people, with the more options people have gained, the less authentic they are. So people push their authentic self far behind now too much, so that they actually haven't gotten comfortable with their authentic self.
Yes.
They actually haven't learned to put their best foot forward. They've learned to put on a persona on Instagram, to try to sell that persona. And then that's why you have a high hookup culture. You have like people hooking up and just kind of like running away from each other right after that. Or even like COVID. COVID is when a lot of people realize like, oh, wow, like I really haven't worked on building with someone at all. Like it's just been me by myself. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Let me finish.
I think a lot of this culture has a very like a low self-esteem because they come across as being confident, but actually that's like an inferiority complex because the way that they date. So for instance, there was some inferiority that I felt as a young man. So in order to make up for that complex, I dated a lot of women because that made me feel like I was complete because it was something missing. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like I wasn't like I would come across. It's kind of like a person who's depressed. They are real funny because that's how they mask the fact that they are depressed or they dealing with something they don't want nobody to know about. So everybody looked at me like I was like this normal person, but I knew that there was something missing. And because I grew up without a dad and I had questions. So, I grew up with a stepdad, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's just a little different. So I would hide behind it and date a lot of women because, I felt like I was missing something. So there was actually an inferiority complex on my part too. Because I was like, even though I showed to be confident, I was actually not that confident. I didn't want to be hurt by nobody. You understand what I'm saying? And you kind of know the background behind this, Clement, because we talked about it. And it stemmed from something that happened when I was 16 years old. You understand what I'm saying? That's where it started at. Like completely crushed. I mean, really crushed. And after that, I ain't give a fuck. I was going in. I didn't care. I was not going to be with no one woman because if I did not be with one woman, then I could not, I wasn't going to get hurt. And I was that guy that would come up, look, I don't want no baby mama. I don't want no wife, no girlfriend. I just want to fuck something. You with it? And they would either say yes or no. They said yes, boom. They said no, so keep it pushing. But at least I was being honest about my intentions, right? But that was all a defense mechanism. All this shit was a defense mechanism. You understand what I'm saying? So moving forward, if you look at this society, that's why they date the way they date. Because a lot of them have inferiority. They don't really have nothing like they believe in. They all thinking that all these fucking fake booties and fake breasts and fake this and fake, and looking at IG models like that's what I need to look like. No, it's not what you need to look like. You need to look like you and be genuine. You feel me? That's what you need to worry about, being agreeable and fucking nice. The rest will take care of itself. That's all you need to worry about. If you're looking for a man, that's your thing, right? Which it should be, then you need to worry about being a nice person. You need to worry about being agreeable. You need to worry about being kind to other people. You do those things, somebody gonna notice your ass. Somebody gonna put a ring on that ass. Period. That's we care about respect, how you treat other people, how you treat us. That's what we care about. Those are some very high values among most men. Period.
That's what matters to most men. That's all that really matters to most men. Yeah.
Is that true?
But but
if we're talking a wife, we're not talking a one night stand because we talked about this on different panels. Men categorize women in two categories. There's a one night stand, and then there's someone who bring home to the parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
one night stand, like that's a big category. That's a huge category. Huge. But who you bring home to see the parents, that is a very, very, very small category, very small category.
But I feel like they're still looking for some of those same characteristics. They're still looking for her to check certain boxes before they even get to
such
the point
as
of knowing her,
what?
How she looks.
She gotta be pretty. Most people
pretty.
Be pretty.
I feel like if you are used to having one night stands with a bunch of people that look like these women, this is what you like. These IG models.
No. See, that was another panel. That was another panel. No, and the women got confused on this. Like, okay, so because men like the pic doesn't mean they'll wife the chick.
Exactly.
Men will like a picture of a Insta baddie. That means they'll smash them. That is all that it means.
That's all that
when they're looking for a wife, they want someone. When they're looking for a wife, they want someone as natural as possible. They want someone real.
Because nigga,
they do not want someone with anything fake.
But how are you even finding out that you like this person when you're not attracted to that?
We ain't going out looking for mud ducks, but they ain't gotta be like an IG model. That's an IG model for the most part, way over here. There's a whole lot of shit between here and there, man. There's 1 and then 8, 9, 10, right? If you get a girl who's beautiful, that's a bonus. That's a damn bonus. But if you get a girl, she may not damn be a 9. She may not be a dime piece. But in morality and the way that she treats you and the way that she is,
she carries herself. She won't embarrass you. Yeah. She's not out there putting. She's not out there putting her body on Instagram or anything like that.
She ain't out here parading around. Damn body want nobody showing their damn body off to everybody else. I don't want that. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want somebody that's nice, agreeable, that's gonna be respectful. One of the way I look at a girl, how she treats her folks. If she talk disrespectful to her mom and her daddy, I'm done with her. Period. Point blank. Because if you can't respect the person who gave you life, ain't no fucking way you gonna respect me. Period. Ain't no damn way. No way. You'll never get me to believe it in a million years. I don't care what they did to you as a child. They did this for you. They brought your ass into the world. Period. I don't care how bad it was. They brought you into the world. That does not give you a right to talk to them sideways. Maybe they was fucked up. Maybe they was abusive. You still need to show them some form of respect because they gave you life. Some shit I will never be able to give you ever. So you can't respect that. You can't respect me. Swipe left. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. That whole IG model, nah. I'll let them simps deal with them. Paying they damn shit, talking about mail me this and let me see your feet. Let me give you $3,000. Let me buy you a car.
Get flued out. Travis, I want to hear another guy's perspective on this. I want to hear another male's perspective on this.
On the different categories of women?
Correct.
Yeah, I do believe in what you're saying. Absolutely. There's definitely a group of women that you don't bring home, that you're not going to bring home ever in any world. And then there are a smaller group of women that you would consider. And so I agree with that portion of it. And I think that's a real thing. Do I think that's what most young men in America are doing? No, I think that they're probably in the simp phase. And so we'll see where they end up. I mean,
I think there's simp as well as confused, honestly. I think a lot of young men are confused.
Because they don't have no foundation.
Yeah.
Of course, when you don't have if you wanted to, if they said, where you live in Portland, Oregon, right? If you said, hey, I want you to come visit my house, and it was cool with you, and they said, okay, cool, but I'm not going to tell you how to get there. You just got to figure it out. So every fucking body who said, oh yeah, I know where Portland is, man, it's over here. You'll be in the general fucking area, but you want to get to this spot. You want to get to this particular place. You'll be headed the direction. You might even land in the city. But when you get there, oh yeah. What you say the girl name was again? What was it again? Oh, her. Okay, bet. Yeah. They know their way to that person's house. So they tell you, you get there, no, that ain't the girl. You get here, no, that is not her. You get here. So you all over the fucking place. Why? You don't have everything you need. You have no foundation. You have no real purpose. You have purpose, you have meaning, but you don't have a direction. You don't have a roadmap to the shit because you chose to give up the roadmap. You chose to forego the roadmap because that was the end thing to do. To question everything, to not believe in nothing. So what you get is what you get. That's why you see a whole damn lost generation. Lost.
Very lost.
I think your point of there being not a strong foundation is really, really important because if you're not looking to form that foundation, that's when you start creating this lost generation, right? You're in a relationship and you're liking pictures of half naked women and you don't see why that's wrong. Well, you need to form a foundation so that you can understand that that's wrong. And so I think that's really important. Exactly. You have to live life with a purpose. Otherwise, you make dumb mistakes and wonder why people are mad at you
or laughing at you.
Exactly.
You thinking you cool. But you like you making dumbass financial like the dumbass dude. This girl tell him, I'm gonna stay in this apartment even though we're not together no more. Why the fuck did you get an IG model an apartment in the first damn place?
Yeah.
She got a whole nigga up in there getting back blowed out every night by him, and you paying the damn rent. Wait, what?
Blue Jasmine.
And you can't get the car back neither. What?
Blue Jasmine. Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
you a simp, dude. You are a simp. You have no foundation. You don't know what virtuous woman mean. You never, because you didn't read that far. And that's another thing. Everybody want to have an opinion about the Bible, and they ain't never cracked that bitch open. I say stuff and I read people, and it's like, that's in there? Damn right it's in there. For real? Yeah. But you that same one got all them opinions, mama. That same one, mama, and don't know shit. Nothing.
Damn.
So I gotta go, guys. I'm gonna answer the last question and head out.
Okay.
I have another.
Answer it in
live.
patois.
We're in patois.
What?
Answer it in
Alright.
patois.
What would you?
I've been dying to hear you.
Since you guys are all well versed on understanding and committing through relationships, what would you say to someone just starting to date again and isn't sure how to move forward caring?
Move forward caring. Okay. Just apply the golden rule.
Which is?
The golden rule is what you want for yourself, you give unto others. So, I would say if you want somebody to care for you, it gotta start with you. So what you put out is what you get back. I believe in the law of attraction. So if you put out dirt, you're gonna get dirt. So once you have that mindset, yes, you're gonna have some obstacles, some bumps in the road. You're gonna meet some dusties. It's all a part of the game. But you still gotta believe. You gotta believe that you are worth the best of the best, and you will one day get that. So just put your best foot forward. Be a nice person, just like what John said. Smile, be feminine. Yeah, those things really work. Those things work, and just stay positive. Stay positive. If you find that you are going on multiple dates and you're just not landing the type of guys that you really like or interested in, or things are just going wrong, take a step back, recharge, regroup, change up your strategy, and go back at it
your
again.
circle.
Change your circle.
Yep.
Change your dating pool. Just change. Like for me, I believe in if you're doing something repetitively and you're getting the same result, then you need to change what you're doing. So that's just my thing. Just be positive, stay focused. Where bad things are gonna happen, but that's never enough reason to find yourself in a rut and become depressed and mope and pessimistic now. Because that energy, you're gonna draw that energy to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that just do your best, be your best, and expect the best.
Awesome.
That's good advice.
Casey, if you gotta go, I really appreciate you coming in.
Yes.
Real quick, hold on before you go. Shout out your YouTube channel.
Oh, spotlight.
In
Okay.
patois.
Okay, guys, I'm so glad that you did this because I'm actually doing a live tomorrow at 1 p.m. on my channel, which is Casey Stush TV. That is KACISTUSH TV. The topic is gonna be, are we normalizing unwed pregnancies? Are we normalizing unwed pregnancies? You guys want to tune in? It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be with a fellow guest, and you guys want to check that out. I'm also on IG as Casey Stush, so guys, feel free to go and follow.
Yeah.
And
I have your stuff, your tags inside the description. So if you guys are looking for her in the description on YouTube, it's gonna be down there in the description.
Yes, definitely. So thank you guys for having me on the show. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was nice hanging out with you nice folks. Take care. Have a good night.
Good night, Casey.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool. That was cool. All right. Chris.
Yeah, I completely agree with Casey. One thing that I did before I started dating again was I made a list of who I would be if I was the ideal woman and then the type of man that she would be with. And that helped me kind of humble myself a little bit because it's like, okay, if I have all this progress I need to make before I get what I'm considering to be like this perfect man, I should expect him to have to make progress as well. And so one thing that I think people need to do is they need to humble themselves and know that if you are looking for this, obviously there's a part of you that needs it, so you should care. You should allow yourself to be vulnerable. And like I said before, therapy, a million times. But I feel like plus, on top of what Casey said, humility, I think, is necessary when you're going into the dating world again.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal.
I would probably say this person isn't ready to start dating if you feel like you're not going to care about anyone. I think maybe you're looking for something different, and maybe to kind of clarify within yourself what it is that you're actually looking for. Because if you're just looking for someone
I knew she was going to pick up on it. I knew it.
It just sounds like you're out there, maybe you just want somebody to hang out with, somebody for sex, but it doesn't sound like this person is really looking to date.
Damn. I was hoping I would go before Crystal. God damn.
It's a good answer. It's a good,
now
strong
I gotta change up my whole damn answer that I had in my head. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you.
Anytime.
Y'all are
That's it. You were done with your point, Crystal?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be my advice. I guess if you want me to give them advice on how to care,
yeah.
Then I would just say that I would.
If you were talking to a younger you who went through something that hurt them badly, and they really wanted to care again while going out and dating, what would you be telling them?
I would tell them that what someone did to you is not what everyone will do to you. And so you just kind of have to release that negativity and don't let it attach to you, because then you put yourself into a position to do to someone else what was done to you. And if you know what that feeling is, then you shouldn't want to be the person to inflict that on someone else. And so to just release that and to move forward with openness and positivity and positive intent to others, and then those things will come back to you. And if you can't do that, then you need to just, find something else in life.
Go find a therapist.
Go find a therapist, exactly. Find a therapist.
I got a damn sister out there. I just found it. Golly. Thanks
Travis.
again. Thanks, Clement.
I got you.
Yeah.
Got you, fam.
I think your point is exactly right. You can't date if you don't care. Those two things, you have to care to date. That's really, really important. And I think just really reflecting on your goals. What is your goal in dating? And if you know what your goal is, then you can better accomplish that goal. And so I'm a big believer in writing your goals down. I'm a big believer in telling someone else what your goal is. Having an accountability partner is really, really important. And then the advice I would give myself, my younger self, is just be patient. The right woman is going to drop into your life at the right time. Don't get frustrated. Be patient. She's coming. She is coming, and it's going to be fantastic.
Awesome.
Okay. Nicole?
So I agree with Crystal and Travis. I think if you are going to be dating, I think you definitely have to be open, especially if you've been through something in the past. That's going to affect how you date in the future. You just have to be open and realize that every situation is not going to be like the last. So sometimes when you have your guard up, you're not going to be able to be open to or give this person an opportunity to be something different for you. Definitely have your goals and
expectations of what you want in a person.
Expectations. Look at you. Bringing it full circle. I see you.
Yeah, you gotta. I feel like you should have some type of expectation of what you want. And if you find somebody that may not have all your expectations, maybe you can compromise on those. So, but yeah, I definitely think you have to be open to new things, and definitely have to care about who you're dating.
Last but not least, John.
Man, I'm not even answering the first damn part because you know what? Fucking everything Crystal said, everything everybody said, and that's pretty much. I mean, because I went through this. You feel me? I was with my baby mama for a very long time, and she was we were toxic together, and we just wasn't good. We cool, we good friends, but that's it for our son. We co-parent well, but aside from that, I was emotionally abused in that relationship. You feel me? So I knew I was toxic. Like, I knew I was. Anytime you have to call somebody and tell them to come and get you and you walk away from clothes and shit, that was just a bad situation for me. And I stayed. So I would tell my younger version, focus on yourself before you start back dating. Love you. Yeah. Because if you can't love you, there's no fucking way you can love somebody else. It's impossible. You can't do it. You gotta love yourself first. So just stay single, find out who you are, go see a therapist. I had to go see a therapist. I did. I had to go see a therapist. I had ballooned up to like 430 pounds. And it was just I was in a bad state of depression. Just completely depressed, business lost. I mean, well, I actually got a chance to sell the business, but a very lost opportunity that could have made the difference between millionaire John and then John now. Just living a good life, but not a millionaire life. And I worked so hard to make that happen. And me getting cussed out in front of them right before we signed the agreement, just barged into the office, cussing me out in front of these men. It was like, if your home life is not okay, we can't do business with you. And that was talking about, we'll do it tomorrow. Nah, or we'll talk about this at a later date. We can give you a chance to. Nah, this is just a nice way of saying, hell nah, we ain't doing this.
That deal's gone.
Yeah, the deal's gone. So love yourself. Just focus on you and learn how to be single and with you. I did a lot of bouncing from relationship to relationship to relationship because I ain't know how to be by myself. So once I learned how to do that, then the right one fell right into my hands. So that would be my advice.
Guys,
on top of everything everybody else said.
That was good. Really good way to end it.
Yes.
That was.
You a mess, boy. You a mess, bro.
But guys, honestly, it was very good having all of you guys here. We're gonna give one last shout out to everyone on the panel. We got How to Adults. We got the In-Law Suites. We got the Blooming Ebony, and then we also got Black Wall Street Trading. We are gonna do one last panel shout out. Shout out your channel, please.
It's actually Black Wall Street Trading LLC. That's exactly how you can find me on YouTube. We all about learning how to fire your boss. So pull up on me, and I'll teach you that.
Next up.
Hey, you can find me on YouTube at The Blooming Ebony and on Instagram at The Blooming Ebony as well. And thank you so much, Clement, for having me. This was great. And I hope you guys enjoyed the panel.
Awesome. This is going to be one half.
Yes, so I'm one half of the In-Law Suite podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the In-Law Suite. And we have new episodes every Friday morning in your favorite podcast app, where we're two sister-in-laws, but we are best friends, and we have our two different perspectives on a new topic every week.
All right.
Oh, and we also do advice. So if you email the inlawsuite@gmail.com, then we'll feature you and give advice.
The other half.
Everything that she said. Everything that she said. And thank you for having us. We definitely enjoyed tonight. It was a lot of fun and a great conversation. So thank you.
I'm glad you guys did. Definitely glad you guys did.
Yeah.
Travis, bring us home, my man.
All right, y'all check out the How to Adult with Travis Walker podcast. We're wherever you listen to podcasts. We're right in the middle of a series on career confusion. So if you're a little bit career confused, we've got some stories that you're going to want to listen to. I had an episode drop this morning, so go check it out. How to Adult TW on Instagram and Facebook, and listen to the podcast. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Guys, it's been very fun. It's been super fun to have all of you guys here. And we're going to close out the show today. All right. So stick around in the back room. We're just going to have a quick chat. But to the fans and everyone that loves us, good.
Rob you with needed resources, but you finance like cost. Too many of us worrying about what we be spending and falls.